Right, we're live. Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome back to the Kiwi Lads Show. We are here for the very first match of the Champions Cup. This one, it is going to be a big one. It is Northampton Saints taking on Racing 92. Now, their backline that they have got Racing 92 for this game is absolutely insane how much talent they have got in there. But if you guys are new to the channel, be sure to leave a like and subscribe. But nonetheless, we will look through at all of the fixtures that are going to be taking place over the weekend. This is the first of many that we are going to get to see. I will quickly remove Kieran from that top corner so you guys can see underneath, and that is Toulouse, who is slightly missing there, but it is going to be a very exciting match. Them up against Cardiff. Then we've got Leinster versus Bath at the same time as Bordeaux versus Leicester. That game will be a very good one as well. The Bristol Bears versus Scarlet game, it was cancelled, so unfortunately, due to that, it does mean that Bristol Bears, they receive the default win, I believe it is, and then Clermont taking on Ulster and Exeter taking on Montpellier. They are all the games that are taking place on the Sunday that we are going to get to see in the future, kind of 24 hours or so. But also, we will show the starting lineups for both of these sides. First of all, looking at Northampton, they are the home side for this fixture, and they have got a tough side as well. It is going to be a very good battle in the front row. Sam Matavesi has been on fire recently for the Saints, so he will be an exciting one to watch out for. Also, Ludlam, Wilkins, and also Augustus as the three men who will be the loose forwards. Alex Mitchell starting at 9-10. Bigger will be starting at 10, and he will have to have a big impact for the Northampton side to try and shut down and also set up his own backline, because once I do show you Racing 92's backline, then you will be like, okay, right, this game's going to be a serious one. Dingwall and Matt Proctor is going to be the midfield, and then also Courtnell Scosson out on one wing, Furbank at the back, and then Freeman out on the other. We have got there on the JR Buff, the bottom feeders as well. Says Johnny plays there, and also Let's Go Racing 92, and so I might have put my $400 on Newcastle and Lyon in a multi-amish as well. Says Aiden, do you want no comment at this stage, mate? You are risking it all, that is for sure, for that one. So hopefully it does pay off, but we will have to wait and see, of course. So hopefully you do end up getting a decent return. Now looking through at Racing 92, the side that they have gone with there, like I mentioned, that backline is absolutely insane. They have got Finn Russell at 10, the playmaker, going to be phenomenal for them. Gail Fiku and Veremi Fakatava making up the midfield, a whole French midfield there, and then also out on the wing, Teddy Toma will be there at 14. Juan Imoff, the Argentine, will be out on the left wing for this fixture, and then you have got there Kurtley Beale recently returning for the Aussies to have a little bit of a run round at international level. He is going to get the start at number 15, with also an honourable mention in that front row, or actually in the locks I will go to, with Luke Jones and Bernard LaRue as the two men who they have decided to go with for this one as well. You've got the evening, everyone. Let's go for a fantastic weekend as well, says Richard. Exactly right, mate. We've got so many games of rugby, and I haven't even mentioned the fact that there are 2 games of the Challenge Cup taking place at this exact same time. It is going to be Newcastle taking on Worcester and Lyon taking on Gloucester, and we will be updating you guys for the scores of those games as well as they are happening. So be sure to stick around if you do want to know exactly who is going to be winning all of those games, including the other Challenge Cup fixtures that we have got coming up. It is going to be Zebra taking on Biarritz. Also, Saracens versus Edinburgh should be an exciting one. Perpignan taking on the Dragons, and then Pau taking on the London Irish. Those are the final ones. Unfortunately, though, they haven't been showing the Challenge Cup games and are not going to be showing the Challenge Cup games here in New Zealand. But I've got the scoreboards all up here, so I will be able to let you know exactly who is going to be playing who. And also, we have got there the Ospreys taking on Sale Sharks. These are the games that are taking place Monday night that we will be covering on the channel. Also, Connacht versus Stade Francais, Wasps versus Munster. Good game of rugby on the cards there. La Rochelle taking on Glasgow, and then to close it out for the weekend of the Champions Cup action, it is going to be Castres taken on the Harlequins. But as the final fixture that we will be covering on the channel as well. Now we look at the reserves bench that the two sides have gone with. They've got James Fish, I should say, Alex Waller, also Connor Carey, and then Alex Coles going to be slotting in as the replacement lock. Tom Wood, Frank Lamani, good Australian man that we have seen in the past in Super Rugby in that reference, and then also Rory Hutchinson and Ollie Slateholm will be closing out that bench. Also looking through at a few of the players for Racing 92 will be able to have an impact. Definitely, I would say Camille Schatt. He is going to be a very awesome player to watch come off the bench, and maybe gets himself a rolling ball try late in this game as well. Thanks for the Big Bash coverage, Hamish, as well, says Gary Miller. No worries, mate. We have got 2 more KFC Big Bash games coming tonight, and that is going to be the first of which being between the Sydney Sixers, and also they are going to be going up against the Hobart Hurricanes, second of which will be the matchup that is taking place between the Perth Scorchers and also the Adelaide Strikers. We have got the, if I win, or if the 2 win, I'll go all in one last time, and put it on the Scorchers tonight as well. Says Aiden there, Mary, Friday 1 and all as well. Says Thick Boy, welcome into the live stream, mate. Do let me know, ladies and gentlemen, who do you think will be winning this match, and what do you think the final score will be for this fixture as well. Racing 92, like I mentioned, they have got a phenomenal backline with just international players scattered throughout. When you've got Juan Imoff, Finn Russell, Gail Fiku, Farumi Fakatava, Teddy Toma, and then also Kurtley Beale as your backline, you know that you're going to be able to get that ball distributed very nicely. It is all going to come down, though, for Maxime Mirchano, who will have to try and find those back line, and to see whether or not he can get it going. But then saying that, Dan Bigger and Alex Mitchell, good combination for the Northampton Saints at the moment, sitting somewhere around midway for the Gallagher Premiership table. So they will be hoping to push themselves towards this Champions Cup. There are a total of a lot of teams. I think we've got 24 that is going to be cut down to just the 16 Northampton should win as well. Says Aiden there for the prediction. And of course, he has got himself with, I'm just going to see Newcastle and also Lyon to win their 2 games of the Challenge Cup, which I'm sure is why you were so keen for me to update you guys on that one as well. Newcastle taking on Worcester, Lyon taking on Gloucester, and what should be 2 very exciting fixtures. Unfortunately, they won't be showing those ones in full length here in New Zealand, but I believe I should be able to find highlights somewhere for them. But do also let me know, ladies and gentlemen, who do you think will be scoring the opening try of the match for either of these sides? I think it's going to be Racing 92, who did get the first one, and Teddy Toma is the man who I'm backing, or Matt Proctor for the Northampton Saints. The way that he was playing a little while ago in the Gallagher Premiership, unfortunately, did end up getting injured, which did mean that he was kind of on a little bit of a halt for a couple months, but now he's ready to go. And this one, Matt Proctor, and he was looking very strong in that last match that I did see him play. And have you a game to replace the 3:15 p.m. game tomorrow, racing for me 35-10 as well, says Richard. And also we have got their Racing 92 all day by here 37-17 as well. So have you a game to replace the 3:15 p.m? I assume that is the one that was going to be taking place between the Bristol Bears and also the game they were going to be playing Edinburgh. No, sorry, not Edinburgh. Who were they going to be playing? I did just have it up before. I will have a quick look at it once again. I've already forgotten the name. It was the Scarlets, and I assume that is the game that we are talking about there. But pretty much we will be covering probably Bordeaux versus, actually we're going to be doing Leinster versus Bath for that time, and then also we will be doing Clermont versus Ulster, followed by Exeter Chiefs versus Montpellier. But this is going to be a very good game between these two sides. Champions Cup, you only get 4 fixtures for each of these teams. So Northampton Saints will be playing this opposition in Racing 92 twice. That is one of the rules that you do have for the Champions Cup, how you do end up having double headers with 2 different sides. Lyon was a big favourite, playing $2 and also $1 and 2, as well as there's 8 in there. So he needs Lyon. And also, how much was Newcastle playing there? 8, and then if they were paying so much, but at the moment they are showing the back line of the Northampton Saints. I will once again doing the same Leinster by whatever they want as well. And evening, guys, says Kano Coin, and I assume you are excited, mate, for that one that is taking place tomorrow night between Munster and the Wasps. They have actually got a decent side, Munster. I do see that they have got Peter Omani. I can't say his name still. I've remembered how to say it, and now I've completely forgotten now that I'm on the live stream. We have got their Leinster by whatever they want as well. And also $1.35 for Newcastle there, says Aidan, for how much they are paying. So they are relative favourites as well in that game up against Worcester. It's actually interesting that we've got 2 sides from the Gallagher Premiership actually going up against each other in the very first round of the Challenge Cup. But that is, of course, because there are less teams in there, only sitting on the 12 teams, I believe it is, for that one. But now at this stage, we have got 24 teams that will become 16 in a very short while. When we have got I think the Wasps might get the W as well, says Aidan there. And Cardiff versus Toulouse should be a run out for Toulouse. Cardiff got like 25 players isolating after that South Africa trip as well, says Thick Boy. Yeah, it's going to be tough for them, that is for sure. But it should be a big win for Toulouse overall. And also welcome in everyone. Be sure to hit that like button and subscribe and go Racing 92. And there says Carlos and also Simon Zebo back for Munster as well. Yeah, they've got some good players for Munster, and I'm looking forward to seeing that battle out on the field, because the Wasps, they are a physical outfit. Munster, they are physicality personified, but Kurtley Beale now making his way out onto the field. He's actually in a rear kit here for Racing 92 as they are away from home. So Northampton, they will have themselves the home field advantage. A few people in attendance for this game. I honestly don't know whether to laugh or cry at your attempt at anytime Omani. It's Omani, isn't it? If I'm not wrong, and surname as well, says Kanakoin. And I don't know why, but anytime I look at it, I always pronounce it wrong. But it's Omani, isn't it? If I'm not wrong, hopefully, fingers crossed. But now at the moment, the Northampton Saints making their way out onto the field. I see Sam Matavisi there, and he is going to be a crucial one for them and at the later stages and early stages of this first half as well, because he has got the ability to get a rolling maul going. Also, Matt Proctor, Skorsan, out on the field as well. They have got plenty of pace, and yes, as well, says Thick Boy there for Omani. Yeah, it is. Anytime I look at it and see that H, it just well and truly messes with my brain. You got it this time. As I say, it's going to coin him, but down to him bigger. He is going to be an important factor. It's going to be him versus Finn Russell, which will be a battle with the 10s. Two of the players who were actually there for the British and Irish Lions tour. So whether or not either of them can really cement themselves in this matchup, we will have to wait and see. But Tommy Freeman out on the wing, he will be nervous for this fixture. Champions Cup, a lot of these players, some of them haven't even been in the Champions Cup before, so it is awesome that they will get the chance. And also we've got their fingers crossed. I become rich this weekend. You'll either become rich or you will end up losing it all. So hopefully it is the first option. We're ready to go for the Champions Cup. Heineken Champions Cup, that is, for Remy Fakatava. Very dangerous player when he's got ball in hand. But anyone who is new, be sure to leave a like and subscribe. We have also got there Sebastian in the chat to say welcome in, everyone. Be sure to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. Says Sebastian there. Welcome in, mate. Hope you are doing well. Taken nicely by Freeman there inside of his own 22 to get this match underway between these two Champions Cup sides. Charge down there, Sam Matavisi. Big mistake, almost a try there straight away for Tonga. They're going to go upstairs. Has he just charged down the kicker, Sam Matavisi? What is Sam Matavisi doing kicking? He's supposed to be a hooker. They're going to be going upstairs. This could be an early try. Any live stream for the game, lads, as well, says Deza. Unfortunately, I don't believe they have got too many for the kind of free live streams, but it will be on the highlights channel of the Champions Cup after the game. It's finished, I believe, and I heard you say it wrong a few times. It's a tricky one to explain the pronunciation over text too as well. Says Thick Boy, and also, hey, Sebastian, you're up early. Says it was. So Matavisi was going to be kicking this one. Matavisi is a number 2. We need to remember. And then from there, he was under a huge amount of pressure, almost able to get on it. No, it is a knock on in the end. Damn, what? That's lucky, though. A hooker kicking the ball, that's a first as well. Definitely when he's 5 meters out from his own line, he was backing himself to be able to do a little chip and chase for a side. But now it's going to be in the hands of that man who was almost able to score the try. Tonga driving forward nicely for Racing 92 there. We're in the red for this one. Love from the new United States as well, says Kobe. So welcome in to the live stream, mate. Hope you are doing well once again. It is Finn Russell. Good distribution from Racing 92, and they will be hoping to hang on to this ball as long as they can. That's going to be the penalty there for not rolling away, or actually it's off feet as the penalty there against Carl Wilkins. Now what do they do? Do they go for the post or do they go for the corner here, Racing 92? It looks like the ball has been placed, and more than likely they will take on the 3. We have got the hello, mate. It's actually 10 PM here as well, says Sebastian. And also Munster actually sent a stronger first team than I thought. Our chances just got better, but the bench will be the massive challenge as well, says Kana going in. But yeah, I did see quite a few good Munster players. Joey Carberry starting at 10, which I assume you will be relatively happy about. And it will be interesting whether or not he does get a chance for Ireland in the Six Nations in terms of starting at 10 rather than, is Johnny Sexton still kicking about at the moment? Because I know that he ended up getting injured. Finn Russell, it was a nice pass across into the hands of, I believe, it's supposed to be Diallo, but it is not Diallo, who is at number 6 for this fixture. By the looks of it, he just ended up leaving his feet a little bit, Carl Wilkins, and did end up getting penalised for the Northampton Saints. And now it is going to be actually called as a high tackle. They changed what it was about 4 different times. This referee is actually, I just remembered, this referee is the one who did referee the Welsh versus Australia game. So this is going to be an interesting one. I know that he's not the most popular man in Australia at the moment, that is for sure, but it is going to be a relatively easy enough kick for Maxime Mirchino to be able to kick this one. And Newcastle just scored a try as well, says and they did indeed. They outset him 5-0, and in that one, it was a try for, it hasn't actually updated it to say who it was who scored yet. But that is a good strike of the ball, and now 3-0 is the lead here for Racing 92, getting underway nicely, and happy for Joey at 10, Byrne at 4, and DDA at 12. So that's Damien Dialende. It's going to be pretty awesome seeing him back in the Munster kit. It's been a little while since he has had a good opportunity, Damien Dialende, so hopefully he does go all right in that 12, because I feel like he is definitely a player who, with that crash ball, will be able to make a big impact for them in the midfield. That's going to be a big knock on there, and it is going to be a loose ball. It's going to be picked up nicely by Racing 92, though, and now it will be once again Luke Jones Matavisi making another mistake there for Rumi Fakatava, little grubber in behind, but it has bounced up nicely, and now it's looking dangerous for them, just running nicely down the wing there. It would have been Diallo. Now only 5 meters out, Racing 92, they smell blood and they are going for the line. Good tackle in the end, not being able to roll away quickly. Now throwing the big forwards and as well, it is Ali Oz now beautifully passed out the back line. Racing 92, they have got plenty of men there, and they have got the advantage as well for offside. They've dropped the ball, and it's going back now for the penalty. We have got there. Johnny is meant to be back next week as well, says Richard English there. And yep, unfortunately, Sexton is still kicking about as well. Says Kana Coin in there, but that's going to be another penalty in favour of Racing 92 for offside. Big question is whether or not they take on the 3 from the position they are. But Sam Matavesi at the moment, that is 2 early mistakes, and both have meant that the other side have been able to really get themselves going forward. For Rumi Fakatava tries to kick that one in behind it. Bounced off Proctor, but set up for Diallo. And then from there, he just kept on going, that man, and almost was able to break through and get himself into the position of being able to get Racing 92 their first try. And Racing 92, where is that located in Europe? They are in France. So they are a part of the top 14, and they're actually sitting not too badly on the top 14 table so far. I believe they're about mid to upper, and it was actually Wright who was able to score that try in the Newcastle Falcons game up against Worcester. For anyone who is curious about that one, and Hayden Wood with the conversion has been able to strike it nicely as well. But now it's going to be Machino. We'll be lining up this kick nice and straight out in front, and that's now going to be 6-0 for Racing 92. So they're just trapping them inside of their own kind of 22 and also their own half at the moment. Sam Matavesi will have to make sure that he does improve kind of the situation he's in, because unfortunately for him, first time he did touch the ball, he ended up trying to kick it, and it was charged down. Dan Bigger at the moment just having a bit of a conversation about the ball not quite being up to stretch, and we have got the Ass France as well, says Richard English. And I guess that's a good question while we are at it. Who do you guys think will win the top 14 in terms of, will it be an English side, an Irish side, a French side? Also, what other places have we got? A Scottish side, maybe? Could be able to get it as well. But do let me know which competition you think the team plays in that will be able to get the win of the Champions Cup, and also who it is, if you do want to have a prediction for that as well. But now it is going to be a good drive forward here for Racing 92 at the moment. They've had it probably around that 80% possession. Going to be fired back, and it is going to be kicked downfield by Finn Russell, retreating here, taking it nicely, and now going to be just outside of their own 22. Augustus now gives it off to, it was going to be Furbank, who has kicked it downfield, but it's gone straight into the hands of Racing 92 once again. Curtly Bill with a good carry forward, 40 metres out from their own line here for Racing. Once again, Luke Jones is going to be wrestled to the ground, almost stolen there for the Saints on the ground. Now Finn Russell going for the 50-22 by the looks of it. It's gone over the head of Furbank, and now he will have to retreat, or actually it is going to be Alex Mitchell, who is right back there covering that one. Running back up towards the 22, clears it hard, and that one is going very close to the touchline. Curtly Beale takes it nicely. He's really got a bit of acceleration going at the moment. Curtly Beale, good low tackle on him by Mitchell, though. It did chase his own kick. It's bounced out the side, but it was accidental offside there. And Leinster for me, and Racing 92 are from Paris as well. He's kind of going in here. Leinster at the moment, I believe they are going into this competition. It was the second highest odds in terms of the favourite. I believe Toulouse were just a little bit ahead, but I think that is because they were also able to win it last year. So that does help them out. Curtly Beale, he's been running hard with the ball so far in this fixture for Racing. And now Finn Russell, he's decided that they want to kick it for the corner. And now 15 metres out here, who have themselves the line-out throw, but it hasn't really been in the hands of the Northampton Saints so far. They haven't really had too much of the ball at all, which is why they are really struggling in terms of, if they end up not really getting too much of that position, it could end up maybe being quite a one-sided affair. But 6 minutes in, Wade Curtly Beale, the same guy that plays for the Wallabies, why is he playing for a French team as well, says that, and it is indeed, because pretty much a lot of these guys, like, that's the thing, we've got Australians, we've got Kiwis, we've got English players all over the place, all playing in France, like Stade de France, say, tomorrow, are going to have Nani Lamape on their side. That's going to be the skip pass, not quite working out, and it is going to be claimed nicely on the wing, though, for Juan Emoff, who is wrestled down now by Matt Proctor. Still going to be on the side of Racing 92, though. Nice step there from Alios. Sam Matavesi trying to get over that ball, still not able to get it. Finn Russell now, good attacking line. Beautiful ball on the inside of Curtly Beale. Offload there to Finn Russell. The draw and pass. And that's going to be the try there for Racing 92. And they have scored the first one of the match as well for the Dollars as well. Says Thick Boy there in the chat. That is a brilliantly done for Racing 92. They've been able to score the opening try of this fixture, and it was Lorette who was able to get it there in the number 6 jersey. We'll add him to the try scorers list as well. But that list could get relatively long here for Racing 92. If they keep on playing the way that they are, they're just able to trap them a little bit. And that was 7 minutes into this game, and it was just a nice ball in the end. It was Curtly Beale and also Finn Russell who were linking up very nicely. And like I mentioned, this back line for them is absolutely phenomenal. And when you add a few of them in, French Rugby Club has big bucks as well. Always has been as well, says Thick Boy there. But it was nicely done by Lorette. Was able to get over the line, and he tried to stop him there, George Furbank, but it was always going to be an upwards battle for him. 8 minutes in, Racing 92. They are leading by 11, and this will be a nice, easy kick for the man as well. But Curtly Beale so far having a big impact in the early stages of this matchup. Only 8 minutes in. For anyone wondering about the other matches, Lyon versus Gloucester is still sitting 0-0, and also Newcastle are leading up against Worcester 7-0 in their fixture as well. But Gloucester, they are certainly the big underdogs for their game, but they are still hanging in there. That one has gone over, and now the score 13-0 for Racing 92. So I guess with it only being 8.5 minutes in it, we'll ask the question, are Racing 92 going to be able to keep up this pace? Will they score 50 points in this one? That's a big kick downfield, and it has gone into touch. Is that a 50-22? That's a big question there. But I think it is going to be on the side. Yes, it is of Racing 92. I was going to say that one's going to bounce from the halfway line into touch. It's a good kick in behind. And Dan Bigger did end up catching them napping just a little bit. But 13-0 at the moment. They certainly need a try. And they need one soon if they want any chance. They've got a home crowd advantage as well. So imagine if this game is in France. And pretty much that is the thing with these French sides. They play with a lot of passion. And when they're at home, you can really tell from the way that they play. In the top 14, we see upsets all the time because teams end up as the favourite when they are at home in that competition. And there is a reason for that. And that is because the whole town and cities get behind their home sides. But now it is going to be kicked up once again by Racing 92. Only a few meters out from their line. Good clearance in the end from Machino. And now it is going to be 10 minutes into this game, just outside of the 22. The line out for Racing 92. They have been able to steal it nicely. And now once again, the Northampton Saints are under all sorts of pressure. The ball bouncing out the back here. And Racing 92 have got this one once again. It is going to be the Georgian in the Lucia prop role. I'm going to have to try and read his name. It's Go Get Shafili as well. What's the crowd like? Is it full house as well? I don't believe it is completely full for this one. Unfortunately, they are missing just a few people in the stands. That one has been kicked into touch once again by Racing 92. We have got there. Are you streaming the Cardiff or Dragons game tomorrow, Hamish brother, as well? Says Thick Boy. So pretty much, I will have a quick look to see what the games are sitting like. So I assume at this stage, any game of the Challenge Cup, I will put up straight away and say that unfortunately they aren't showing those games in New Zealand. So I am unable to watch all of those ones. But for the Champions Cup games, we are going to be covering the games. Unfortunately, we probably won't be able to do Cardiff versus Toulouse, depending on what time that the game beforehand finishes for the BBL, because we have been covering that on the channel, and that will be going just a little bit past 2 a.m., unfortunately. So it might end up being a little bit overlapped at the moment. It is in the hands of the Northampton Saints, and they are driving their way forward nicely. Once again, now it's a knock-on, though, and that's back in the hands of a Racing 92. Good drive forward, but we will be covering the game between Leinster and Bath, also Clermont versus Ulster, and then Exeter versus Montpellier will be the other one that we will be covering. So we will be covering as many of the games as we physically can, kind of as long as they all link up nicely. But any game that we aren't covering when it is happening simultaneously, we will be kind of giving you guys the updates on the score. So it is 7-7 in the game between Worcester and Newcastle at the moment. Kicked downfield nicely. And just outside of his 22, it will be Finn Russell. Damn, it's an equal again as well. Says Aiden, it is indeed. It is going to be another try in that game. So at the moment, there's been 2 tries in that one, and it was a penalty try for them, and a yellow card goes against the the Newcastle side there. That fixture goes down at the moment. It's a good turnover in the breakdown, though, and I believe it was Bernard LaRue was able to get himself that ball. Now Luke Jones once again linking up nicely. It's going to be intercepted. They had the advantage. So Dan Bigger being able to steal it back for the Northampton Saints. And something you notice from these French sides is they will always put in a challenge in the breakdowns. They just throw them in and just keep on going. It is going to be, and they're Ratanai Yarawa now going down the wing. Augustus going to be dragged down nicely, still in retention of the ball here for the Northampton Saints. They need to make sure they can hang on to this one for as long as possible. David Ribbons, that one's going to be stolen. And it's a penalty there for the Racing 92 side once again. So they are working very hard. Lyon taking the lead in their game up against Gloucester 3-0 as well as the other one. But they are showing there that Skosan really close to the touchline. Ends up just trying to cut his way back up the middle. But Fiku and also it was Finn Russell who were able to drag him down. But it is proven early on that Racing 92's defence is certainly holding up. And like I mentioned, that man in the breakdown straight away able to get the turnover. I believe it was Bernard LaRue once again, or actually it was the try scorer LaRue who was able to get in there and rip that ball away. Now Finn Russell kicking it for the corner. These guys, they want a bonus point, and it is certainly available for them if they do end up getting enough. So pretty much you get yourself a bonus point for scoring 4 tries or more. So it isn't the whole rule of 3 or more tries than your opponent. It's just 4 tries gets you the bonus point, and that could be really determining where you do end up finishing in terms of the seeding for the semi-quarter and also the round of 16 that we will get to see. But we will be covering all of those games on the channel as well. So if you are new, be sure to hit that subscribe button now. Throwing it to the back nicely for Racing 92. Not quite straight though. As the call from Addison. So because of that, now it will be the scrum feed for the Northampton Saints. This will actually be the first scrum that we get to see today. Another little yawn. Yeah, that one wasn't too straight, unfortunately, for Teddy Ababegne. I feel like I pronounced some of these French names wrong, so I do apologise in advance for my pronunciations. I've been working on them, but French seems to be one of those languages that don't quite roll off my Kiwi tongue to the best of my ability. But now Alex Mitchell will be feeding this ball in for the Northampton Saints. And they probably need a big push here because Racing 92, they have got a very solid four-pack. Definitely when you've got a Georgian in the front row who can really make an impact on that loose head prop side, getting forced backwards here for the Saints. The ball, it has come out, but Alex Mitchell under a huge amount of pressure, losing his footing there for him. And now it is going to be still just on the side of the Saints, I believe. Now they have been told to release it. Someone is held around the neck, and that's going to be the penalty in favour. And off feet is the call. Tell you what, that was a good challenge in the breakdown, though, from Racing 92, getting right in there. And I believe it was actually that Georgian Graham Gogashvili who was penalised there, unfortunately, for him. But Dan Bigger now will be kicking this one for touch, relieving a little bit of the early pressure for the Northampton Saints. They are certainly under plenty of it for the early stages. Do let me know, ladies and gentlemen, who do you think will be scoring the next try of the match? And also, if you haven't given your prediction already for the score, do let me know how many you think they will be able to get here, Racing 92. I'm going to say they win this game 40-17 as my random prediction that I have decided to go with. I'm not sure whether or not it has already been set, but that is the one that I'm going with. Sam Matavisi there going to be taking it nicely, and now it's the rolling more. Augustus fires it back to Mitchell, first receiver here on the outside. Quick hands, looking good. Scotland now tries to lob it. It is going to be through the hands of Kirtley Bell, and it's actually going to be a penalty there for offside in the end. So they were possibly looking at that deliberate knockdown from Kirtley, but it was only a knock-on at best. 10 and 12 offside, so it was actually both Gail Fiku and Finn Russell who both charged up there and weren't quite able to get themselves just behind the hindmost foot. And also we have got their 33-12 as well, says Music Kiwi there. So Dan Bigger, I believe they've got to kick this one for the corner. They are too far behind already to be able to not just kick this one out and try and get that line out going. But Racing 92 at the moment sitting on 13-0 and at the early stages. That is a good kick from Bigger though. That doesn't look too good for Dan Bigger. It looked like he almost had a little bit of a knee injury there after he kicked that one. But Scott Sonny tried to fire that ball wide. It was just a little bit too far forward though, but rushed a fence from Gail Fiku. What's happening? Sam Matavisi now will be throwing that one. And it's almost well taken. It's going to be bouncing nicely though in favour of a Racing 92. And now they have got the ball back. Another mistake, although it's a little knock on, says Mike Addington. And now it is going to be the scrum feed here for the Northampton Saints. They'll be trying to get this ball out as quickly as physically possible for the scrum. As soon as you leave it in for too long, you're in a bit of trouble because these sides will just try and pounce on you. But overall, very good start to the match for Racing 92. If they continue to go on the way that they are at the moment, they will certainly be through to that round of 16. And the best thing is, we get to see this match take place again in only, I believe it's about 3 or 4 weeks' time, but I could be wrong there. I think it's a little bit longer, actually. Now that I think about it, the next time that we do get to see them play, it is actually the 24th of January, so 42 days until we get to see this rematch. And the other side that they are playing in the European Champions Cup, it is Ospreys for Racing 92. We have got their RGM as well. And the chat says, Kyle, welcome in, mate. Hope you are doing well. And for Northampton, they have got Racing 92 twice, and also their other fixture that they are going to have for the European Champions Cup, it is going to be up against Ulster. So not so easy there for the Northampton Saints, as Ulster at the moment playing very nicely in the URC, which is on hold up until these competitions kind of all end up finishing. But we've got plenty of games taking place in the near future, so we are going to be covering as many of them as we can on the channel, showing you guys who is playing for the upcoming Sunday fixtures. We have got Cardiff versus Toulouse. I don't believe we're going to be covering that one, unfortunately, due to an overlap with the KFC Big Bash. Leinster versus Bath is another matchup that we will be covering on the channel while talking about Bordeaux versus Leicester. That one has gone down on the front row there, but it's a good attack here for the Saints. Quick hands to Matt Proctor. Dragged down nicely by, I believe it was one him off now. Alex Mitchell firing it back out. And they are only going to be sitting about 5 metres out here from the line. The Saints, they need a try, and they need it now. Sam Matavisi receives that ball short. A good low tackle on him by the tight air prop of a Racing 92. Now, once again, a good attack and run. There's a lot of heavy contact over Dan Ribbons. Mitchell fires it back. It's rushed defence here, but Rutunai Yarawa was able to carry that one forward once again. Good hit there on Tinwall, who was actually out on the field. I believe he wasn't out there for the start of this game. So unfortunately, it does mean that maybe Dan Bigger has made his way off the field, I would think. Oh, sorry, it's actually Rory Hutchinson who would be on the bench. Well, it looks like that one, and we also got there. I'm about to buy a 2022 Blues kit as well. Says it, Kyle. So hopefully you do find one that fits. Furbank drops that one, and now it is going to be Teddy Toma, who is just trying to wrestle his way forward. Skosan, oh, he just caught a massive knee to the head there. Skosan, he looks like he is actually going to get up, so that is fair play to him there. Curtly Beale now a little kick him behind, and they are trying to charge after this one. There's a lot of pressure there on the Northampton Saints. Good chase from Gale Fiku, but now Furbank trying to run his way forward, finds the offload back, and they are just trying to keep this ball alive at the moment. It was Ludlam was carrying it forward. They're asking for the penalty, and they win it there, Racing 92. I'm wrong, but it's not three teams per group as well, says Richard. So pretty much the table as it sits, it's a weird way that they do actually do it for the Champions Cup because of the fact that like they've got 10 teams, I believe it is, 12 teams in each pool. So it's Pool A, Pool B, but you actually play the same side twice, and then have two other games as well. And also we've got the other Scottish ref is actually James Murray as well from a Practical Joker show, as says Christopher. The thing is, I know exactly who you are talking about. He looks relatively close to him as well, to be fair. Seeing him in the background there. And so we've got there, it's not looking good. Newcastle down by 5 as well, says Aidan. They did indeed concede another try, but pretty much, yeah, the way that the system works is you are in that position of you play the same team twice, and then you play the other team twice as well. So Northampton, they've got 2 games up against Racing 92, and then it is going to be in the situation of Ulster. They have to play Northampton Saints twice as well, and then wherever you're sitting after that, it is the top 8 teams from each group go through to the round of 16 as well. And also we've got the any New Zealand players playing in this match as well. Says, hey, I believe we've got, out of everyone, Matt Proctor's probably about the only Kiwi. We've got Curtly Beale, if you don't mind someone being from Australia rather than New Zealand, but I believe he is actually almost the only player from New Zealand, Matt Proctor there, but that is going to be now 16 points to Racing 92 and 0. And yeah, sure, you do pay or do play the same team twice, but you don't play team from your same league as well, says Simon there in the chat. And also we have got the in the chat, Newcastle is down by 7, says Aidan as well. So not a good start for them in that match. I believe they were favourites, like you mentioned in that one. Well, taken nicely there for Racing 92, once again, just outside of their own 22 here. And it will be passed backwards nicely by it. It will be Machino. Just trying to hit the ball up nicely and trying to find that clearing kick. It looks like Finn Russell now going for the little chip and chase, and it's going to be beautifully sitting up there for Curtly Beale. Great low kick on him. He gets back up to his feet, but it is dragged down now by Augustus, but they're keeping it at a frantic pace. Finn Russell goes for the kick in behind. It is charged down, and now because of it, the Northampton Saints have been able to get this ball back. They are behind by quite a bit at the moment. Alex Mitchell goes for the kick in behind, but Curtly Beale does receive that one just outside of his 22. He's got a man across from him, but decides instead to put it back to the boot. Kicking it inside of the 22 at the moment, and the Northampton Saints, it is going to be George Furbank now. Looks like he is going to be returning fire with it. It's going straight into the hands of Finn Russell, who has covered a lot of ground there. Looking like he will be possibly putting in the kick behind. No, he passes it off now, and it's going to be now Teddy Toma out on the wing, gives it to Gale Fiku, and they look very similar at the moment. Both gone with the shaved heads for this matchup. Now passing the ball back beautifully as Finn Russell, Pierce in the gap, looks for the offload. Oh, he's found that beautifully to keep that one alive. I keep on saying beautiful for this one. Sam Matavisi, no, able to get on the ball now. Passing it back across field. Luke Jones carries the ball forward. They're making good ball meters here. Ludlam making the tackle there as well. Finn Russell flat pass in the hands of Arumi. Wakatawa running sideways. You got to tackle that man low or else he will just keep on going as well. That's a poor call from the ref. I didn't see Wakatawa releasing as hands went on the ball as well. Says Kana Cohen, and this one was very close to the Saints and themselves the penalty, but just missing out once again. Galafiku there with the quick hands. Tonga hitting the ball up hard, and Matt Proctor getting cleaned out from the side almost there was. And the Saints fans in the crowd, they are not too happy with this one. As the way it is sitting from Russell now, beautiful inside ball. Juan him off. He goes through, and that's going to be the second try of the match now for Racing 92. And it was Juan him off. He puts his hands over his ears there as if to block out the noise from the crowd, but it was Juan him off who was able to get that try for the side. He is the Argentine international, done very decently there to be able to get that. Is he the Argentine international, or is he actually, he's not French, is he? I believe Juan Imoff is Argentine, I want to say, but I could be wrong there, but do let me know, ladies and gentlemen. But it does mean that now Juan Imoff, He's been able to pick up his first try of the Champions Cup, and now Racing 92, they are sitting 21-0 at the moment. Worcester, they have scored 2 tries in their one. It was Duan van der Merwe who was able to get the last one, while they did have a man advantage out on the field. So they're leading 14 points to 7. And Gloucester versus Lyon, they are sitting 3-all in that game, so it could be relatively close in that one by the looks of that game already. Game over already, sadly, as well, says Richard. Yeah, at this stage, it is just a case of do Racing 92 get the bonus point in the first half or the second, because they are certainly going at a frantic pace. They've already scored 2 tries. You only need 4 to be able to get yourself the bonus point. And yes, as well, says Simon and Flippinell, this could be a cricket score at this rate. Saints completely outmuscled as well. Yeah, at the moment, they're just getting outplayed in the breakdown, and they haven't really been able to get enough possession to be able to get that ball back. Finn Russell at the moment, though, playing very nicely for Racing 92, really being able to set it up. And I think with the way that they're playing in this game, they are certainly going to make it through to the round of 16. And then it's the big question of whether or not the Saints can make it through to it as well, because we have got 12 teams per group, and 8 of those teams go through to the round of 16, which means if you lose 2 or 3 of your matches, you might be struggling to make your way through. It's going to be a big hit there on the number 9 for Racing 92. It's going to be bouncing up awkwardly for Furbank, and that ball does not like him. Almost goes into touch. It's taken it nicely. Tries to step, but good tackle on him by Luke Jones, 40 metres out from the line at the moment. Now going back across field, Sam Matavesi once again getting the carry forward. It's working a little bit better for him. He tried to kick earlier on. He also tried passing the ball forward a little bit earlier on. Didn't do it on purpose, of course, but he was having a bit of a rough start. Now it's going to be nicely passed out the back line here. And Courtnell Skosan just driven backwards there. Did you hear that? Trevor Nakanye is now signed to Racing 92. I did see that. And it's going to be pretty awesome to see him get a chance in the French League. I feel like he's going to be able to cause havoc when it comes to that scrum. Mitchell kicking that one out on the full. So because of it, it is going to be going right back. And the pressure remains on the Northampton defence here to see whether or not they can survive for the next 15 minutes and get into halftime. This half seems to be going very slow for them at the moment. Lyon taking the lead in their game up against Gloucester, 6 points to 3 as well. But yeah, Trevor Nakane, a beast in the front row, and it's going to be absolutely awesome to see him in the French League alongside a few other South Africans that we have seen recently. I actually know that Ulster tomorrow are going to have Dwayne Vermeulen playing for them, his first matchup for them in the Champions Cup /URC/ anything with the Ulster kit on, but now going to be still on the side of a Racing 92. They just keep on driving forward. Augustus able to drag him down. Tonga there being able to make plenty of meters. The ball is loose. There's Matt Proctor, tries to kick it forward, messes it up though. And now it is going to be Juan off fires it back across field. Teddy Toma, chip and chase. He's got plenty of toe as well. It's going close to the touchline. It just rolls out. But that says that the SDS are good enough to play in the Champions Cup. You would wonder, just my opinion as well, says Richard. But it says the SDS. Southampton, is that the Southampton Saints, or have I got that around the wrong way? STS. I feel like that stands for something that I should know, but I can't quite think of it. Newcastle actually scoring themselves a try there for this one as well. But now it is going to be the rolling ball for Alex Mitchell just outside of the 22. And it is a big hit on them once again. It was Fraser Dingwall trying to drive his way forward. It's a penalty to Northampton Saints. The player just leaving his feet a little bit there. And Hamish, apologies for joining late. Had a busy day as well. No worries, mate. It is great to have you here now for this matchup. We are covering this one as well as talking about the 2 other games that are taking place. And it was actually Mike Brown, the fullback for the Newcastle Falcons, who was able to score that try for them. So that game just gets a little bit closer. When you put 2 Gallagher Premiership sides together, you always seem to get a high-scoring game, and that is exactly what the Challenge Cup is finding out at the moment, with it being 12-14. The other game is being, at the moment, decided by penalties. Lyon sitting on 6 points and Gloucester sitting on 3, but this game certainly is not decided by penalties. 23 points in favour of Racing 92. Sam Matavesi now going to be firing it to the back. Nicely done in the line out, and now it's going to be driving his way forward nicely. Dingwall, he was absolutely nailed there. Skosin off the ball. They may have another look at that. Sam Matavesi, very short pass. And now driving themselves forward. Now they have got the advantage. Good inside ball there. Right run from Matt Proctor. Gets back to his feet. Still breaking the tackle there, Matt Proctor. Still 10 metres out, though, for the Northampton Saints. Racing 92 trying to get straight on the ball. Trying to shut this one down for the attack. Matavesi once again trying to spin out of the attack. Now Mitchell looks to the right-hand side. Big carry forward for, I believe it was Dave Ribbons, really throwing himself at the line. They need a try, and they need it soon, and it's going to be the big Fijian at number 5, Ratanoi Yanara. I always say his name wrong, even in my lineup video for Fiji. There's going to be now a step from Matt Proctor. And driven down nicely. They've still got the advantage, and it's still going to be just available for them. They're up to about 7 phases. Oh, that was a low tackle made there by Diallo. Now, once again, firing it back across. They've just got to find a way through. Painter tackled nicely. It is still phase after phase here. They're still playing the advantage, though, I believe. Now, nice ball backwards. It's going to be good rush defense, though, from Gail Fiku, who was able to shut it down as well on the Saints as well there. Sees it Richard now. Nice step down the wing. Augustus. Well, it was actually not Augustus. Sorry, it's a little chip and chase in behind. It's Gosan. Scores the try for the Northampton Saints. It was actually, in the end, Lewis Ludlam, who was down the wing, put the ball on the inside to Dingwall, and then it was the try for Cornell Skosan was able to score it, and now they are back on the board. They have got their first try of the match, and Cornell Skosan was the man who was able to score it. We will go like that, and we will go like that in the 28th minute. It was Ludlam down the wing, beautiful inside ball to Dingwall to get that little grubber in behind, and Skosan able to score it. And now the Northampton Saints, they score themselves their first try. So the big thing is, if they can get within 7 points here, that would actually mean that they get a bonus point, which could be the difference between going through and not going through. Go 92 as well. Says Eastbok there in the chat. It is a good try for them all. Actually, they are checking this one to see whether or not he was in front. This could be no try, and if it is no try, that would be very unfortunate for the Saints. And yes, good. We have a game as well, says Richard. They are just checking this one to see where Skosan is. I think he's fine. I think he's fine. And that is going to be the tries. Cornell Skosan, the South African, able to score himself that one. Racing 92 at the moment. That's the thing. Even Northampton, if they score themselves 4 tries throughout this game, they still get that other bonus point. And if they can get themselves within 7, it's as if they've had a draw, because they would receive 2 points to the 5 possibly of Racing 92. But now Dan Bigger, important kick here for him. Struck it nicely, and that one has gone straight over from Dan Bigger, and now making the score 7 points to the home side, the Saints 23 for Racing 92. And it is going to be all coming down to, I would say, the big impact that the Saints will have to make off the bench here, because you have got many good players in that starting lineup for Racing 92. They will slowly tire, and then it's when the Saints, their freshmen off the bench, whether they can go marching into the try line and try and get themselves a couple early ones as well. But now Ludlam very happy with his effort there for the Saints, and you can hear the crowd now getting behind their home side, which is great to hear. Well, we are at the ground, but Ludlam, they are showing him, giving him a lot of credit for that one. He was able to go down the wing, also find the offload on the inside to Dingwall. Was able to then put the grubber in behind it. It's good pressure once again from Racing 92, though. The Saints inside of their own 22. You can hear the Saints go marching in at the moment, being sung throughout the ground. We are a home game for Northampton Saints. I believe the next game will be a home game for Racing 92 when these two sides do meet in around 42 days, I believe it is, that I did mention a little bit earlier on. Now Alex Mitchell going to be putting up this kick. I almost charged down. I think there was actually a bit of an arm on it. So because of it, it does mean that it is going to be the line out there for the Northampton Saints. They're on their 22, and at the moment they are talking about a few of the other games that are going to be coming up in a very short moment, not just today, later on today, and also we've got more that are going to be taking place tomorrow as well. These are the next games that are the nearest that are taking place, and it is going to be Cardiff versus Toulouse, Leicester versus Bath, Bordeaux versus Leicester, Bristol versus Scarlets was unfortunately cancelled, so I believe Bristol actually received the full points for that one, and then Clermont taking on Ulster, followed by Exeter Chiefs taking on Montpellier. Then looking through at the games on Monday night, Ospreys versus Sale Sharks, Connacht versus Stade de Francais, and then Wasps taking on Munster. La Rochelle, a few Kiwis on that side taking on Glasgow, and then Castres taking on the Harlequins as the final game of the weekend. Kick down field, it's going to be taken nicely by Kurtley Bell there, and he looks like he's going to be backing himself to run it forward as well. 40 metres out now from the Northampton Saints line. It's going to be going off to the big man there, Bernard LaRue, dragged down just a little bit high in the end by Painter. Now kicking it across field, Finn Russell just with the chip kick, and now it's Varumi Fakatava down the wing. Tries to find the offload. It's gone backwards there for Teddy Toma. A lot of pressure on him. Matt Proctor picks it back up, and Gail Fiku able to make the tackle. It's turned over by the Saints, and they are now fired up. Mitchell kicks it in behind, finding a little bit of space. Taken off, and Russell juggles. Something you do not see very often is that man putting down the ball. He felt the presence of, I believe it was Skosan running down the wing, and he does end up putting it down, and it goes into touch, and now it's going to be the line out in favour of the Northampton Saints. We have got the New Zealand must allow more players to these competitions as well. Players get used to Northern Hemisphere conditions and refereeing with 2023 World Cup in mind as well. It says Spock. I know we've got quite a few going to the Japanese top league. Is going to be the main competition. We've got Nadi Lamape going to Stade de Francais. Oh, big hit there on Mitchell, but Skosan once again just throwing himself at the line. He's not afraid to put the body on the line if it means that a side may be able to get a single attack going, and it is once again Furbank, the fullback. They have been told to release him, And he has gone down. Mitchell now once again firing it off to the big Fijian lock. A little bit of a loose ball. Sam Matavesi having to clean that one up. A lot of pressure on him. And they'll break down Skosan now on the short side. Instead, it is going to be Ludlam doing a little bit of flirting with the touchline as well. Extremely close to it. It's going to be cleaned out there by the Fijian. I always say the Fijian because his name is Ratu Yaurawa, which is very tough to pronounce. It is going to be Alex Mitchell now firing it back. Looking good here. Dan Bagger puts the ball down, though it was actually Dave Ribbons who dropped that one. And now it's going to be the scrum in favour of Racing 92. Sitting 34 minutes through. Worcester have just scored themselves another try in their game up against Newcastle. So they are sitting 19 points at the moment. It was Dole who was able to get that last one. They're only 29 minutes in, and they are just having try after try after try in that fixture. They've got a time off at the moment. So 34 minutes into this game, and we are already seeing some drinks being run out on the field. Good morning as well. They're striking down under. Welcome in to the live stream. I hope you are doing well at the moment. Racing 92 doing very nicely in the early stages of this game. Already getting themselves 2 tries, but Northampton have got themselves 1 as well. So whoever gets the 4 tries, even if both of them get the 4 tries, they will both get the bonus point, which is very important because the thing is, it's interesting that they make sides play twice, but I think that is so that it's home and away advantage kind of is equal for the 2 sides, but they have got 12 sides in each of these pools, and they decide that they only play 4 games, and they are 2 games up against the 2 teams. So at the moment, there was almost a sentence. Ulster are the other team that Northampton are going to be taking on in Racing 92. They are going to have the opponents, and I mentioned it a little bit earlier on, but I believe they have got a relatively easy game for their next round, and that is going to be up against, I just want to make sure that I have got the right team here. It is going to be up against the Ospreys that they are going to be playing. They actually play them next week as well, which should be an exciting one. But Eddie Jones, he's always watching rugby, and he is in the crowd for this one for the Northampton Saints. We'll be hoping that the English boys can get themselves a win here, but Racing 92 not making it easy in the early stages of this one. Going to be a big push forward for Racing 92. They have shown that they have got the strongest scrum so far in this one. Finn Russell, he's got the magical feet. It's a good low tackle on for Rumi Fakatava, though, by Dingwall. Still available, though, for Racing 92. More of the ball has actually been in favour of the Saints for the last little while. It is Bernard LaRue. Counter-ruck there. No, it's going to be illegal from Dave Ribbons, and because of it, it does mean that it is going to be the penalty against him. And at that situation, he almost timed it right, but unfortunately he ended up just absolutely cleaning up the halfback, who wasn't too keen on it. But Bernard LaRue, he's certainly a big boy. Those 2 men for the Locks are both standing around 2 meters tall. Probably a little bit unlucky there. He did end up with his hands on the ball, but didn't play at it, which is why they have decided that it was the penalty. Finn Russell kicks that one into touch. Does he? Yes, it does go out. A good kick downfield from Finn Russell. So this will be an interesting period of the game. We can see already that there are a few deep breaths being taken by both of these sides. Northampton Saints, they have got the home field advantage. France, at the moment, they are the away side. They're going to have the home field advantage for the next game that takes place in 42 days. But for now, they will be wanting to get out of this game with not just a victory, but also a bonus point. The way that they have started, they have certainly got the ability of being able to bring it up. And definitely with the back line, they've got Curtly Bell, who has been running very aggressively at the line. It's going to be a good rolling maul forming here for Racing 92. Marching their way forward. This is going forward like it is a truck. And they are just going to keep on creeping forward. They're inside of the 22. They've got the advantage. Now the ball has gone down. And it is going to be available for them to try and unleash that back line that I was speaking of. Gale Fiku on the outside. Gives it to Finn Russell. Good lobby ball there for Rumi Fakatava. It's gone to one him off. And he's going to score it in the corner there with a very nice try for one him off. That is the 3rd now that they have been able to get. And we will be adding the 2nd try of the match for one him off, scoring it in the 36th minute of this game. They only need 1 more try to get themselves a bonus point, and they are looking very sharp in the early stages. This is going to be sitting now on 28 points for Racing 92. Anyone wondering about the other matches that we have got going on? It is 21 points for Worcester over Newcastle, and Lyon are leading their game 6 points to 3 over Gloucester. And Gloucester were heavily the underdog in that fixture as well. So it is impressive that they are still hanging in there up against a very strong Leon side, although they do not have Joshua Tuasova as a player. Eddie Jones already started his mouth for as well. So South Africa won't win the next World Cup. He thinks the players are too old. 32-12 is all I say as well, says Spock there. He loves talking, Eddie Jones, that is for sure. It will be interesting to see who South Africa go with for that 2023 World Cup. I'm hoping by then we get to see a little bit more of maybe Apalele Fasi. Also, Efan Roas. I'd love to see him kind of take over for Dwayne Vermeulen because I feel like he is probably close to being finished. Oh, are they checking to see whether or not Juan Emoff there has done a little bit too much of a slide? And this one has the ball been knocked free. Still in his hands. Still in his hands. Still in his hands. Still in his hands. That is a try. That is no worries there for one him off. And it was very close to him going dead. It looks like it's a little bit slippery inside of the in-goal area for him. But Juan him off. He picks up his second try, doing very nicely in the early stages of this game for Racing 92. A hat-trick could be just around the corner for him in this game, and that would bring up the bonus point if they were able to do so as well. But now it will be the kicker once again here, Maxime Michonneau, lining up this one from quite far out. I'd say about 35 on the angle here for him to try and strike it. 2.5 minutes left in this first half. And at the moment, Racing 92, this could bring up the 30 points already. That is quite a few to have in the early stages of a game. Definitely, because he's missed it. He's gone away to the left. I jinxed him big time there, but the score will remain 28 points to Racing 92 and 7 for the Northampton Saints. They were able to score themselves a try earlier on Northampton. They need another one very soon if they want any chance of not just getting themselves that bonus point for 4 tries or more, but also getting themselves that bonus point for being within 7, or maybe here's another one. Maybe even be able to go on and make a massive comeback. The ball's going to be bouncing on their side here. It is bouncing backwards as well. It's still available for them, Ireland or France, within the 2023 World Cup as well. Says Richard, they're the thing. France at the moment, they have got a very good up-and-coming side. In Ireland have been looking phenomenal recently. I'm looking forward to seeing them play in New Zealand, because someone actually asked me the other day whether or not it will be 3-0 to New Zealand. I don't think it will be. I think it will be probably 1-1 going into the final test match. And then that one could possibly go either way, but it's going to be exciting getting to see that action take place. I believe we've got a few other tours taking place for international level, and it's only 620 days away from the Rugby World Cup or so, which is going to be pretty awesome. Played in 3 test matches for the British and Irish Lions there, Finn Russell, this year. He will be hoping to really get that playmaker going for himself, because he is the Scottish playmaker at number 10. Him and Stuart Hogg combined, it's just an awesome backline. Then you chuck in Duan van der Merwe out on the wing. Also, the youngsters such as a Kyle Stain, and maybe even you go with, I'm trying to think of the other man who did score himself 3 or 4 tries. What was his name? I can see him, but I can't think of his name at the moment. McRufus. No, sorry, it was Rufus McLean was the name there, who was able to score himself a few tries in a hurry. We are in the final minute of the first half, 28 points to 7 at the moment in favour of Racing 92, with the 3 tries scored so far, 2 for Juan him off, and then also it was Flabeur, I believe it was able to score the opening try of this game. We have got there Ireland or France. Must win. I'll first win the Six Nations if they can't. Bye as well. And why is Newcastle losing again? It's really making me anxious, says Aiden. Yeah, at the moment they are 7 points down. So you had them and Leon, didn't you, Aiden, if I'm not wrong? Well, that one. So hopefully that will be able to pay off. But at the moment they are looking like they are going to be the underdogs for the later stages. But Leon at the moment, they are winning their game by 3 points. So that is a good sign. But Gloucester, if they score a try, they'll be in the lead. That is a good push there for Racing 92. It's gone down on the front row, but instead now Alex Mitchell, huge amount of pressure on him, using the back line here. Bigger fires it out onto the wing. It's a good step from Tommy Freeman, one of his first touches here. I did as well. Says Aiden there, so hopefully they will be able to get the win for your mate now, using their back line once again here. Sam Matavesi, decent carry there for the Northampton Saints. It's going to be Dan Bigger kicking it downfield, kicking it into touch. Okay, that's going to be half time there for Dan Bigger. I'm not too sure whether or not he did mean to do that in terms of the time that was on the clock, but that is halftime. He doesn't look too happy with that, Dan Bigger. But now at this stage, halftime in this match, 28 points to 7 here for Racing 92, getting off to a very good start in this fixture. It's going to be important that they use their subs well in the later stages, because they've got a few good options off the bench. That is the wrong one. There we go. We have got their Kamal Shet. It will be an option in the later stages for that rolling ball to get going. Telfa Fanua as well will be exciting to see in that number 23 jersey. But then for Northampton, they have got the fast, elusive Frank Lamani on the bench, as well as another team or another player who could be able to make that little bit of an impact. But it's whether or not they can really start the second half well, because both of the other games between Newcastle, Worcester, and Lyon, and also Gloucester are still going at this point. And the other games that we have got of the Challenge Cup that are coming up, it is going to be Zepre taking on Biarritz, Saracens taking on Edinburgh, Perpignan taken on, it will be the Dragons, and then Pau taken on London Irish. And then also, while we are at it, we should mention that we are going to be covering the BBL tomorrow night. That first match will be between it's going to be the Sydney Sixers at home, and they will be taking on the Hobart Hurricanes. And then the other game that we are going to have that we will be covering on the channel will be the Perth Scorchers, and they will be taking on the very talented side in the Adelaide Strikers, who were able to get themselves a win over the Melbourne Renegades in a very recent time. But at the moment, between these two sides, it's a very close fixture. It seems like it's not really going to be hugely split either way. I'm going to see whether or not I can get up a few stats about this match as well. No news for this match is the comment from that one. So I guess that means that we are going to have to see whether or not we can get some different stats up for this one. But Racing 92 at the moment having less of the possession in that first half, 46% in favour of, or them having 46, I should say, and Northampton having 54. 3 tries for them, though. Defenders beaten. They have been able to beat 13 Racing 92 compared to the 6 of Northampton, and then also about 342 compared to the 173, so almost double there for Racing 92 with the ball in hand. So they are certainly going nicely, making a lot of tackles as well. 77 made, only missing the 6 compared to the 75% tackle success rate of the Northampton Saints. So they will certainly have to make sure that they do not let in any easy tries, I would say, for the second half. But it's going to be exciting to see whether or not there is a comeback on the cards here for them. But everyone for this one at the moment, Worcester versus Newcastle, we have got there. Who is the ball at the moment in the Newcastle game as well, says Aiden. Unfortunately, I don't believe my app tells me that much information. It has only got kind of like the action of who scored the tries and whatnot, because unfortunately they aren't actually showing the Challenge Cup games here in New Zealand. I was hoping that they would be alongside the Champions Cup, but they have decided only the Champions Cup will be shown here. Fun fact, the only time England won the World Cup in 2003, they won the Six Nations with a 5-0 winning rate as well. They also had a 94% win rate for the year as well. CZ Spock there. Of course, very good performance from England. I'm wondering whether or not they will be a side that will be able to really compete in the Six Nations. I know that they struggled last year, but they have certainly got the side, definitely with Smith at 10, and also you've got young Freddie Stewart, like he was mentioning, for the Rugby World Cup final. He was still in his college dorm, I think it was, and now he is out there playing and getting 2 man of the match performances in 3 fixtures. So that is pretty awesome for the man. And hopefully he has got a very bright future. And I really hope he doesn't get any injuries, because I know that injuries can really kind of stunt the growth of a young player if they do end up with a knee injury or any kind of, I guess, ACL and all of those kind of fun little ones that you definitely don't want to have as an injury, because then you're out for 9 months and all of a sudden you might miss the boat for the Rugby World Cup. Because that's the thing, the Rugby World Cup is actually getting closer and closer by the hour, because we have got, I'm going to get the exact time that we have got left before we get to the Rugby World Cup. So the Rugby World Cup, here we go, there it is. 637 days until we are going to get to see France taking on New Zealand in Pool A of the Rugby World Cup. And evening chats as well, only home now. Surprised at the halftime score, says Maurice there. Yeah, they've been going very well, Racing 92. They've got 3 tries so far here. So if they get 1 more, they do receive the bonus point. Northampton, they will need 3 more to be able to get that bonus point as well. And they have played 6 minutes already overtime, says Aiden. I was wondering what was taking them so long. It seemed to be that they were just continuing to go and go and go and go for them as well. But also the second game is going to be, or actually I'll say the next big game is probably England versus Argentina. That will be taking place on the 10th of September. But every single game of the Rugby World Cup we are going to be covering on this channel, and that is in 637 days. That will fly by, and it will be here before we know it. And also we have got there the Rugby Sevens World Cup in 272 days. NRL starts up in 88, and Super Rugby Pacific starts up in 68 days, with the MLR also in 55 alongside the Guinness Six Nations, which we are going to be covering on the channel as well. And I'm excited for the Six Nations this year. Last time that we did cover a little bit on the channel, I had no idea about who half of the players were. But now I have spent quite a wee while learning all of these sides. They're actually showing highlights from England versus France from the last time that these two sides played in the Six Nations. And I remember I only covered about 3 games of that. That was when my sleep schedule was normal. Well, that one halftime, and it's draw again in the Newcastle game. And so they've done very nicely there. It's going to be one of those games that just keeps you on the edge of your seat, Aiden, for the whole time by the looks of it. Leon at the moment, though, I believe they are winning 6-3 at halftime. Yes, they are. And then now it's 14-21 at the moment on my one, but I assume that it will be changing in a very short moment as well. But pretty much, yeah, the last time that we did cover at 3 a.m. for me, like to get up for one of these games, or I think it was actually 6 a.m., that was like a weird time. It was like, what am I doing at this hour of the morning? But now, 3 a.m., I have been up all night tonight. I have noticed, by the way, Hamish, are you going to start doing Major League Rugby as well? Says, and I am pretty keen to do a few of the USA games, as long as the kind of time zones don't overlap too much in terms of with Super Rugby and the Six Nations and everything like that. I am certainly keen to try and get that going, because we have actually got 1 or 2 rounds of the Six Nations prior to Super Rugby Pacific, which is good because it will give us that little bit more time to get used to the schedule. It's like at the moment, my Big Bash live streams every single night do mean that I have been pretty much sleeping during the day and live streaming during the night, but we get a few days off in a short moment as well. Newcastle, they were able to score that try, and it was McGigan who was able to get it. So that game is now 21-all going into halftime. What happened to the tradition of the Rugby Champions always playing the host in the first game? Or am I wrong as well? Says Esbok. I think it depends on what is happening in terms of the sittings or the rankings, I should say, because South Africa and France, I think they were both kind of put into different pools. And I think that was done off the rankings kind of thing because France qualified as the kind of 4 to 8, I believe it was. So I'm not too sure, but I assume that it was going to be maybe if France ended up in Pool A alongside South Africa, then they would have ended up in that position because they kind of have it based off the rankings. I remember they did the draw quite a wee while ago, but they did kind of explain what is happening there and also where all the European teams and also African teams, etc., do end up slotting in. At the moment, they are actually showing the highlights between France and England. That was an extremely close game, wasn't it? If I'm not wrong, going right down to the wire. They are currently sitting at 16 points to England, 20 for France there after 75 minutes. So that kind of answers my question as well. Was this the one that Mara Itoje scored that final minute try? Because I know that he had a controversial, I should say, in the Six Nations. This could be it, maybe. Looking at it, I'm going to have another look at it just because of the fact that I don't think I remember seeing it happen live. But it's certainly one of those ones. The Six Nations, the closer and closer it gets, the more and more excited I become about it as well. Yeah, at the moment, we are just waiting for the second half to get back underway for the European Champions Cup. It is going to be a Racing 92 taking on the Northampton Saints. They do have to play again in 42 minutes time. And yeah, that is that Mara Itoje try that they did have to check for a very long time. But it was the try that did end up winning England the game there up against France. But yeah, it's very exciting to know that a lot of these players for Racing 92, they are actually going to be playing up against the kind of English, up against the Irish, up against pretty much everyone in that Six Nations. And it should be pretty awesome. Who do you think will win the Six Nations? For me at the moment, there are probably 3 sides that are right up there. It's either going to be France, England, or Ireland. And I feel like honourable mention there probably, that's the thing, honourable mention for Scotland and Wales. So I guess it's just everyone but Italy, I feel has got a good chance of being able to win that one, because that's the thing. All of these sides on their given day can win games of rugby. Definitely up against each other, so it depends on who shows up and does play the best. We have got Noah Rogers there, as said, hi, welcome into the live stream, mate. It is good to see you. We haven't seen you for a little while. Hope you have been well, and hope you are excited for the Champions Cup and a little bit more rugby that we are going to be having in the near future. But 21-21 is the score between Newcastle and Worcester, and then Leon leading over Gloucester 6 points to 3. Still extremely close between those two sides, and it could easily go either way in that second half. But I will quickly see what we are sitting at in terms of the likes. I haven't actually mentioned the likes on this live stream. We are sitting at 14, which is actually higher than I was anticipating for this live stream of the Champions Cup. So if you haven't already, be sure to leave a like on this live stream. Let's see if we can push towards 20 by the end of this live stream. I feel like that would be pretty impressive for our first ever Champions Cup live stream of the year. We have got plenty more that will be coming up next year. But until then, and also we did cover a couple games yesterday, or not yesterday, last year, I should say, as well. In fact, it would have been earlier this year. So the years have been flying by. We're almost at the end of 2021, which is just absolutely insane. And 15 likes actually as well. Says that Noel Rogers there. So we'll have another look. And it is, for myself, it is still sitting on 14. So I feel like one of them could be missing just for myself. But do let me know, ladies and gentlemen, who is going to be scoring the first try of the second half. I'm still sticking with Teddy Toma, or I will say for Northampton, if it is a try scorer for them, it is going to be, whoa, that's a good bit of focus. It's going to be Matt Proctor. That's my prediction there. Tell you what, I don't know how I did that, but the focus just absolutely disappeared for a second there. I don't think I could do that again if I tried. I was the 15th like as well. Says that Noah Rogers there. Yeah, the second half, it should be very crucial for Northampton, because the points differential could also come down to it in terms of who does go through to the top 8 of each of these pools. So you got 12 teams. The bottom 4 do go home, and the top 8 from both of the groups do go through to the round of 16, which does end up becoming knockout games. Whoever loses those does end up going home. I will mention, honourable mention, to La Rochelle last year. They went as far as they ever have in the competition, making it through to the final to face up against Toulouse. But up till that point, they had to beat Leinster. They also managed to beat couple other very tough opponents as well. I haven't even seen the teams as well. Says Noah Rogers. Well, I can show you exactly who is sitting on both of these sides. One moment. There we go. That is the side that they have decided to go with for Northampton. They've got a decent side there. Skoson was able to score the first try of the match and the only try so far for Northampton. Also playing very well, Ludlam and Augustus there in the loose forward trio. Sam Matavisi having a little bit of a rough start to this matchup, but Dan Bigger, he is going to be important, slotting in at number 10 there for Northampton as well. Now looking through at the Racing 92 lineup, they have got an insanely good backline. They have got their Machino, who will be starting at 9, Finn Russell, Gail Fiku, Farui Fakatava, Tiri Toma, Juan Emoff, and then also Kurtley Bell, the Australian, will be slotting in at number 15. That is an insanely good backline for Racing 92. And that's the thing. If they can keep up that backline and also can end up linking up very nicely, that is going to be one of the keys for them throughout this season. They've got, he is actually starting at number 6 there, and then Juan Emoff. He has been able to score himself the 2 tries so far in that first half out on that left wing. So pretty much if you're a left winger, you got a good chance of scoring a try, maybe because of the fact that these two sides are swap sides. Maybe it is the second half. The men on the right wing might get a little bit of a mention throughout this one, but then these are the benches that the two sides have gone with. Frank Lamani sitting there in the number 21 jersey. We know him from the Rebels in Super Rugby, and also now he is at the Northampton Saints. And then you've also got Telfa Whanua at number 23, and Camille Shat will it be starting at a number 16, or will be coming off the bench, sorry, as well. And Jesus, what a backline as us, says Maurice. Exactly right, mate. It is absolutely insane that they have somehow just got that good of a backline. They've also got some very strong forwards as well, and teams finish 9 and 11 in each group go into the Challenge Cup knockout stages as well, says Hyman Hughes there. So I guess it's not completely over for them for those ones, but I assume, does that mean that 12, no matter what, goes home and both of them, which would be a little bit of a shame for them, I guess you could say, because it will just be the one side from each pool that will be missing out on. Also, we've got there Kurtley Bell to score the first try of the second half as well, says Aiden there. At the moment, they are just showing Tom and Jerry. I haven't seen that in a very long time. I didn't even realize they were still doing Tom and Jerry episodes. I remember watching it as a child. We have got their Leinstershire Walk, the competition as well, says Scott. Yeah, I think my prediction is going to be Leinster versus Toulouse in the final. And also, we've got there to Frank Lamani not play for the Rebels anymore, says Noah Rogers. I believe, if I'm not wrong, he is contracted for the Saints. So I don't know whether or not he is going to be bouncing between the competitions or not, because the Northampton Saints, they will be needing him right through to around the time that Super Rugby finishes. As I realize I must be busy making a month video. It's going to be 10 minutes as well, it says Brandon. So that is no worries, mate. I hope you are having a great time editing it as well. But nonetheless, we are getting very close to the second half of this match, getting another way. Racing 92 sitting on 28 points so far, 7 points for Northampton Saints. Anyone wondering about the scores of the other matches that are taking place at the moment? Newcastle and Worcester sitting 21-all at halftime. It's always going to be a high-scoring one when we talk about the Gallagher Premiership. And then Lyon are currently winning up against Gloucester. Only 6 points to 3, though. So that game could easily go either way in this situation. But nonetheless, we are almost there at the second half. Skoson making his way out onto the field. I did say that it would either be Teddy Toma or maybe it would be Matt Proctor who were able to score the first try for either of their side. It comes out today as well, says Brandon there in the chat. There are some happy faces at the moment in the crowd. The Northampton Saints, they are at home. Finn Russell at the moment, he is looking fired up, just giving it a little bit of a nod. Looking like he's extremely relaxed at the moment here for his side. They have been looking very sharp in the first half, and also he has been able to have a big impact for his side, just able to set up a couple kind of assists, I guess you could say, about Augustus, and also they are showing there Bernard Leroux. He is certainly a large man, and he will be open to make an impact in the second half. It will be the Saints kicking off from left to right to get us underway for the second half of this match. Nicely thrown up in the air there, and they have been able to retain that one. Racing 92 just outside of their 22. We have got there's the URC still going. Pretty much there are quite a few URC teams out at this stage. So because of it, it does mean that I don't know whether or not do the South African South African side still play each other. Good kick in behind from Dan Bigger. And now it's going to be Bill who does put it to boot the ball, and that is a big kick downfield now inside of their 22, but I got Rugby Sevens to do today as well, and you are correct, 12th place goes home as well. So that will be very unfortunate for them. I feel like it will well and truly feel like you're missing out in terms of the fact that you will be pretty much the only side to do go home. Now Finn Russell kicking it in behind once again here, just trying to play a little bit of territory, both of these sides. Dan Bigger firing it back across field now. It wasn't the best pass, but it's going to be taken nicely by Courtney Skoson, or Courtnell Skoson, sorry. Mitchell now going to the short side once again, just throwing himself out of the line there. Carl Wilkins ripped away from him almost there in the breakdown, but still available for the Saints. Currently only sitting 40 metres out from the line. Euro Rugby has made Dog's dinner of the EC as well. And also we've got there with the silly groups last 2 years. As also we have got there disruption, understandable, but you would have to be really bad not to make the last 16 as well, says Maurice. Yeah, it is one of those ones because were Leicester last year because they were able to get extremely close. I believe Montpellier, were they the team who did win the Challenge Cup last year? But were both of them kind of in the Champions Cup, but then taken back down. Hamish, I've always felt bad for Tom the Cat as well. Says Aiden there now around the outside, I should say. Finn Russell there, beautiful offload. And it's going to be now the second try of the match for the Ray. I couldn't end up saying it for a second there, but he's just scored again. The big man in the number 6 jersey. I didn't predict him for the first half to score, and he has just done it again. He's been showing up everyone at the moment, and he has picked up a second try, 41. And once again, it was Finn Russell who was the playmaker, who was able to get that move going for Racing 92. That is the bonus point now. So now all they need to do is win this game, and they will receive the full 5 points available for this one. But we are still at halftime for Newcastle versus Worcester, and also Gloucester versus Lyon, who are both sitting in a very close contest, only actually the 3 points separating one of those games, and then the other is just that little bit closer in terms of the fact that it is 21 all, but it's a nice offload, and Leray there able to run up the field. He does score himself the try. Nicely done by Finn Russell, though, finding the gap. I couldn't even say it in a sentence there, but Mitchell was lowered in. Good ball on the inside to Leray, and then from there, Dan Bigger just tries to take him a little bit too high for the big man. And now, once again, it is going to be the kicking opportunity. That one is good. And that now makes the score 35 points for Racing 92 and 7 for the Northampton Saints. This game's looking like it's going to be a little bit of a runaway for Racing 92. I believe they will bring up to 50, but it's the question now of will they bring up 60 points? And this fixture, Lyon are currently sitting there on 6 runs against, or not runs. I keep on saying cricket terms, 6 points to 3 up against Gloucester at halftime. But now it is going to be once again kicked high from Racing 92, just inside their own 22. It's going to be up in the air, challenge in the East Coast Sun. No, I would have taken nicely, and it's bouncing back on the side of Racing. Do try and get up and go again. Racing means business as well. They do want a Euro Cup as well, says Maurice, exactly right. And they have got the backline and the skill in their fullback to be able to do so. They will not be too happy with the fact that Toulouse were able to win it last year rather than themselves. Now it's going to be a good attacking run. Curtly Bell there tries to offload it on the outside. Juan M off, juggles it, and now it's back on the side of the Northampton Saints. Little knock on there from Ludlam though. Now it is going to be the scrum. The South African teams come back in the 9th of January in the URC as well, says Simon Hughes, because I did see on Instagram, I got confused because the Sharks, they actually had an Instagram post, and I believe the caption was getting ready for this weekend, and they were like doing gymming and whatnot. And I was like, do they have a game this weekend? And I don't believe they do, but I'm not sure what's happening this weekend. But apparently the Sharks, they are gearing up for something. As well, did you see that Antoine Dupont won the World Rugby Men's Player 15 or Men's 15 Player of the Year? I did indeed. And Will Jordan winning the up-and-coming one as well. And then I want to say it was Marcos Manieta who did win the kind of sevens up-and-coming player as well, or just the sevens in general, I think it was. But now Alex Mitchell, he will be fitting this ball in at the moment. They have got Frank Lamani off the bench. He could actually play in the back line as well if they need to. Alex Mitchell there tries to go short, so I get him wrestled down to the ground, though. A lot of pressure there on the breakdown from Racing 92. Haven't quite been able to turn it over, though. Once again, it is going to be Ratu Yaurawa, who is passing across the Matavisi. Playing up back once again there, the big Fijian. And the number 5 jersey, good salad, a dummy there from Dan Bigger. He is wrestled down, though, and it's just ripped away in the breakdown. Brilliantly done by the hooker for Racing 92. Now, once again, going forward, it looks like there's actually an injury here for one of the Northampton guys. I really hope it's not Dan Bigger, because he is one of the keys for them. He's got a knee injury, Dan Bigger. He is limping big time, and it is going to be the penalty now. And now at the moment, Alex Mitchell, he is just fired up big time. I'm not sure what was happening there, but he was certainly not happy. I think Stade Francais couldn't get into the Champions Cup because of the Montpellier winning the Challenge Cup as well. This time in one French back row should make the World Rugby 15 team. Hooper deserved his place tight in as well. And there says Maurice. Yeah, back row. I guess that's, this doesn't look good for Dan Bigger. He's actually going to be going off the field with a knee injury. That is crucial for the Northampton Saints, not just for the Champions Cup, but also for the Gallagher Premiership when it does come back. They are certainly not going to be wanting to miss that man out on the field, but instead now it is going to be Hutchinson who will make its way out onto the field. Oh, no, sorry, it's actually Slightholm. They did put up saying that it was going to be the man in the number 22 jersey, but instead it is going to be Ollie Slightholm, who has made his way out there kicking for the corner now. They will be trying to get themselves another 3 tries here. But Matt Proctor actually off the field, and that is for Slightholm. So they have brought on both men here. So Rory Hutchinson also out on the field now as well. But Matt Proctor, he is going off. It looks like, has he got an HIA? Matt Proctor, he looked like he was going back into the changing room. So I'm not too sure whether or not that is a head knock assessment for him or whether it is something else. But now it is going to be so important for the Northampton Saints to be able to score themselves another early try in this one, because or else maybe the bonus point is just going to be out of reach, and also the 7 points difference will be out of reach as well. It's going to be taken nicely by the Saints, and now it's a nice set rolling maul here for them, throwing themselves forward. And it is going to be breaking off the back there. Mitchell, good attack and run there from Dingwall. Only a metre short. Alex Mitchell, he went himself. Should he have? Probably not. And now because of it, he's isolated himself. Still got it on the side of the Saints, though. Still trying to stop them from getting through as Racing 92. Looks like it is going to be now Dave Ribbons backing himself. Good leg drive there. If it's held up, it's going to be a goal line dropout. It is still going to be just on the side of Northampton. They are literally only about a metre short of the line. Alex Mitchell there, flat ball to Ludlam, sorry. Ludlam, yes it is. I was trying to work out how the Lud was going, but now Augustus, good leg drive. Once again, great defence there from Racing 92. They need to try and stay on side. That is exactly what they're doing. Very nicely done. It's going to be wearing them down, though, if they have to keep on making the tackles. It's going to be a nice ball there. Good shot there from Varumi Fakatawa, but it's going back now for the penalty. Tiri Toma just having a little bit of a stare off of him. Didn't he see? He used to play for 92. He did indeed. He was out Racing 92 for a little while more. All Blacks should have made it into the World Rugby Men's 15 Team of the Year. Alex Mitchell takes a quick tap, throws himself at the line once again. And they're just trying to keep this game going at a frantic pace. It looks like now it is going to be instead around the side. Carl Wilkins not really having too many carries so far throughout the early stages. Augustus back to his feet, going around the side, taking out his kneecaps there. Was Diallo. Still trying to creep their way closer and closer. It looks like it is going to be Sam Matavesi. Closer and closer, the Northampton Saints. Can they go marching in to the in goal? They are working hard. Mitchell there sells the dummy, reaches out. Dingwall scores it between the posts. And he has scored the second try of the match now for the Northampton Saints. My voice is trying to disappear, but it was Dingwall who was able to get that one. And at the early stages of the second half, we will go like this, and we will go like this as well. Dingwall was the man who was able to score it. He's been working hard throughout the first half and also now has reaped the rewards. He was actually a man who put the kick in behind that did set up Scottson by his driver. That is a nice strike of the ball as well. Straight out in front. So it's 14 now to Northampton and 35 for Racing 92. Now they have lost Dan Bigger due to injury. How long is that going to be possibly playing a factor for? How long will Dan Bigger be out for is the massive question on my mind. And also Matt Proctor, whether or not he has got an HIA is another one that I'm slightly concerned about here. But at the moment, in the other games taking place for the Challenge Cup, it is going to be 21-all between Newcastle and Worcester. And then also Leon still sitting on 6 points to 3 over Gloucester for that game as well. But now 35 points to 14 in this game. So we've already almost had 50 points. We're sitting on 49. And there is still another 30 minutes of rugby to be played as well. Amish score updates, please, as well, says Aiden. So we are 21-all and also 6-3. But at this stage, those games are very close. They're a lot closer than this one, that is for sure. But is there a late comeback on the cards here for, whoa, that is a stat and a half. The last time that Dingwall scored a try was actually 8 months ago up against the London Irish. So he has chosen the perfect time to be able to score it. Sam Matavesi now, good attacking line from Dingwall once again here. And they are continuing to drive their way forward. Alex Mitchell now passing it out the back line. Furbank got a bit of space. Oh, that's high. And that's going to be maybe even a yellow card, is it? Or just a penalty? It looks like he is going to be helping him up there. Unfortunately, just connecting a bit higher. It's going to be Artarak going off the field, and that is for Whaler. And also Wood making his way out there for Wilkins is another replacement that they have decided to go for. Tom's real name is actually Thomas. I don't remember how Mammy Two Shoes used to call him as well there in the chat. And also who is your European team? Says Scott. It's a good question. I'm normally, I would say I struggle to pick a favorite European team. I love watching the teams that, of course, have a Kiwi or someone like that in there because we do get to see how it goes. It's Bigger Gone Gone or HIA as well. Bigger is Gone Gone. Knee injury for him. It's going to be stolen there by Racing 92, and they've been able to take it back. But I quite enjoy watching Leinster as well just because of that physicality that they always bring to the table. And also, I will say Harlequins are another side that I've been quite a fan of, and also Leicester. I tell you what, I'm just saying, everyone at the moment, do let me know your team, Scott, as well. At the moment, all the other games for the Challenge Cup still sitting the same way that they are, and it is going to be the penalty in favour of Racing 92, currently sitting 50 minutes down in this fixture. It's getting closer and closer to the end of this match, and they're running low on time here for the Northampton Saints. They are showing at the moment Tom Wood has made his way out onto the field. And now Finn Russell will be kicking this one for the touchline. He has been playing phenomenally in this game, Finn Russell. I believe he's almost been involved in every single one that he has got. And also Munster there, as I said, Scott. So I feel like me saying Leinster would have been possibly not an ideal one. But Munster as well have got some very good players for their match up against the Wasps. We are actually going to be covering that one on the channel tomorrow alongside La Rochelle. And they are going to be taking on a team that I can't quite remember. For this one, we will quickly go here. And we will go here. What do we got? La Rochelle, they are going to be taking on, that's the wrong day. It's the day after. It is going to be Wasps versus Munster and La Rochelle versus Glasgow is the other matchup that has taken place for that one. But at the moment now, it is going to be once again in the hands of Racing 92. 25 metres out from the line. Also, we have got the French flags from Antoine as well in the chat. So welcome into Livestream I. I hope you are doing well. This is a good attacking run here for the French once again. Racing 92, they're doing brilliantly in the early stages of this game. Good man, Amish as well. James Lowe and Isa Nathua as well. I would be happy with that as well. Says Maurice Garvey there. Now Finn Russell passing across. Galfiku going to be getting hard in the tackle by Furbank, but that means that he is actually not going to be in its fullback jersey. It is going to be back now. Finn Russell, wide ball from Varumi Fakatava. He's already scored 2 tries there. The man who is out on the wing. It's going to be a nice pass on the inside. Curtly Bill just being manhandled at the moment by the defence of the Northampton Saints. Has been able to place the ball, though, sitting on the halfway line here for Racing. Just trying to make their way forward. And can anyone actually tell me, by the way, Racing 92, what does the 92 stand for? Because I feel like it's one of the only teams in World Rugby that does have a number. That is a brilliant run there from the big man Diallo. And it's going to be cut off now. Finn Russell, they've got numbers on the outside wide. Cut out pass out now to Teddy Toma. Trying to drive forward nicely, and it is still going to be available for them. It is going to be now Juanim off already. Scoring 2 5s, 1982 as well. Says Maurice there, and who do Munster have as well, says Aiden. They have got Omani as well, who will be a crucial one. And also Joey Carberry, they have got Toulouse as well, says this spot there. And La Rochelle and my French team are the ROG connection as well. Says it was there from Sky, and also got to go, says Noel Rogers there. Oh, I got a little bit of a tongue roll. Going for Rogers. It's going to be kicked in behind. I did the tongue roll again. It wasn't even on purpose. I think it is because I've been saying a few French names that have been rolling off the tongue. But Will Addison almost getting involved in that breakdown. The referee wouldn't have been too keen on that one. That's not the best pass, and it is going to be back on the side of the Saints now. And more than likely, they will just have to kick this one away unless they attack. And it looks like they are going to try. It's an offload on the inside. Sam Matavisi has been taken off the field, but instead in his place, it is James Fish just inside of the 22. Alex Mitchell going to be firing that one back, and they are just going to be using those big forwards. Wood getting his first carry of the match so far, and it looks like Will Mitchell put it to the sky. I know that he did end up messing up a kick a little bit earlier on, did go out on the full. Carry back is the call. We can hear there the Saints go marching in. He said carry back. So now it's going to be from where Alex Mitchell kicked it. I actually jinxed them big time there. And French rugby on a high as well. Big budgets give them a huge advantage, but their homegrown players are really high class as well. New top dogs as well, says Saturday Player. I think so. The way that France play, like anytime they play now, they are just showing that they just keep on improving, which does mean that World Cup, while they're on home field advantage as well for the 2023 World Cup, I feel like they are in a good position to be able to do some big things. There was actually a try there scored by Jordan Taufua in that match up against Lyon, scoring up against Gloucester, and the conversion was nailed as well. So they are leading now 13 points to 6, and it's interesting because Taufua, I believe, he is actually the man who was at the Crusaders a little while ago, isn't he? And also he is the captain of Lyon. Now it looks like it is going to be a couple players getting replaced there for Racing 92. Number 92 is the number of Hots de Seine bordering Paris to the west where they play as well, says Scott. Okay. So I guess that's the thing. I don't really know too much about some of the backstories of these French rugby teams, but I am definitely learning something new every day for them and it is certainly an up-and-coming country in terms of the top 14. That's just a very good league to watch. I've been watching all of those games, even if they're on at like 9 a.m. and I haven't slept up till that point. I still stay up to watch the likes of La Rochelle take on Stade Francais. And also we've got there, not 1982. It's from a region in Paris where they play as well. Says Maurice there, but now it is still going to be available for Racing 92. Bernard Leroux chucking himself at the line tackle by his opposite number for the Saints. And now one more try would definitely seal the deal here for them. Oh, it's a try to Newcastle as well, sitting on 28 points to 21. So they've been able to score again. Those two games are very high scoring at the moment. By the looks of it, it was Lindsay Haig who was able to score once again, going to be driving his way forward. The ball was actually ripped away there. It's a little knock on, and it's back on the side of the Northampton Saints now. It is going to be Dingwall passing it back across field. Ludlam sells the dummy for the wide pass. He is nailed in the tackle, though, by the number 7 once again. And now 5 back, Alex Mitchell will be kicking this one downfield for the Northampton Saints. Advantage is over, and it sits up nicely for Beale, who will be returning with a kick of his own. It is going close to the touchline. No, it's going to be bouncing up nicely into the hands of, I believe that's actually Tommy Freeman. We haven't seen too much of him throughout the day. He's got a huge boot on him, though. It's come right back round, and Finn Russell able to clean up that one for them. They've still got 2 tries scored so far for the Northampton Saints, so they want to get themselves 2 more converted, and they will be back into it. It is going to be Hutchinson now, booting that ball downfield out on the full, and it is going to be going right back, and that is exactly what they did not want in that situation. It was actually Ollie Slate, I'm sorry, did end up kicking that ball out on the full. 25 minutes left in this fixture. Northampton sitting on 14, 35 points for Racing 92. I will mention anyone who is new to the channel, be sure to leave a like and subscribe. We are covering most, if not all, of the Champions Cup games that are being shown here in New Zealand, depending on whether or not they do show them. There are a few games that they have decided that they don't want to show us, but any game that they are, we'll be trying my best to be able to provide the coverage for. So the games that we are covering tonight, I guess you could say, or tomorrow night, because of the fact that we are currently sitting 10:16 a.m. here in New Zealand. We are going to be covering that game between Leinster and Bath. We won't be able to do this one due to the Big Bash overlapping with them as well. But Leinster versus Bath, and the next game we will be doing, I believe we will be doing Clermont versus Ulster, and then Exeter versus Montpellier will be closing out the night. And then the night after that, we are going to be doing probably Ospreys versus Sale Sharks, then Wasps versus Munster, and then Castlereagh's taking on the Harlequins as the final match of the night. Now going forward once again here for the Champions Cup side in the Racing 92. Good fend there from the man who's already scored 2 tries. Leray has been on absolute fire for his side. Still available, though, for Racing 92. They've had pretty good ball retention in the second half. Bernard Leroux now throwing himself at the line once again, and they have got an advantage, and it is going to be the penalty for the high tackle. It looks like they're going to be taking the quick tap. They did indeed, but they weren't quite on the mark. High tackle is the call. Juan Moffey thought that he was possibly going to be able to get through for his hat trick. It looks like they're kicking it for the touchline. So was it on Finn Russell? No, it was actually on Juan Moff by Scosson, who did catch him just a little bit too high there. Oh, okay, they've gone time off. Is this a swinging arm here? Could Scosson be in the bin for the next 10 minutes, perhaps, if they do go upstairs and have a look at it? But 56 minutes in at the moment, the Newcastle Falcons leading their game 28 points to 21. Leon leading theirs up against Gloucester 13 points to 6 as well. If it ends up as a draw for one of those 2 games, would be very interesting, because you both get the 2 points, and also at the moment Newcastle do receive that bonus point for being able to score 4 or more tries. So it will be Worcester, who are only just behind. So they will actually receive a bonus point at this stage for being 7 or less behind. So it is going to be a very close one by the looks of it between the 2 Gallagher Premiership sides. We've actually seen quite a few draws in the Gallagher Premiership as well. London Irish, they have already had 3 so far this season, which is just an absolutely insane number to have in this early of the season, I guess I could say, because they are only up to round 11 at this point, and having 3 draws already up against, I believe they had a draw up against Saracens, Sale Sharks, and there was one other that I can't quite think of. EI West will be joining Toulon next year. Big loss for La Rochelle. It is indeed. Unfortunately, the Kiwi boy is going to be heading to a different French side in Toulon, but he should slot in quite nicely there. But I'm wondering who they will decide to go with for their fly-half, whether or not they do go for maybe, do they get a new signing, or do they just use the ones that have got any updates as well? Says Hamish Spencer. So pretty much at the moment, Newcastle are winning up against Worcester 28 points to 21, and they are sitting around that 50 or so minutes into their game. And then Lyon up against Gloucester is sitting 13 points to 6 in this one. Now La Rochelle not playing in this game, I should say, but now it is going to be Racing 92. Getting very close to the try line, only 5 meters out, and once again, He's just going to be pouring on the pressure, looking for the big forwards. It looked like it was going to be Bernard Leroux, but instead now it is going to be the man who has already scored 2 tries, Leroux. Around the side here, Diallo once again throwing himself at the line, trying to get on the ball, not able to get it here. And now they are creeping closer and closer, 2 meters out at the moment, straight out in front of the post as well. This will be an easy kick for whoever takes the kick here. If they do end up scoring it, just throwing their number 2 at the line. But beginning there. Now it's Gael Feku backing himself. He is going to be dragged down nicely though, and straight on the ball. It's going to be the penalty for the high tackle as well. And also, where is Leon from? They are from France as well. They have got probably their most well-known player that they have got is Joshua Tuasova for one of the Fijian players that they have got. And also, Taufua was able to score himself a try, and he used to be at the Crusaders, if I'm not wrong, for Super Rugby as someone else. For a name that you might recognise. I'm also going to have a look through, because I believe Gloucester, if they got, no, who's got Bryce Hegarty? Someone's got Bryce Hegarty playing at 15 as well as an Australian. Demba Bumba as well at Lyon, who does play very nicely. Oh, okay. Lima Sapawanga is at 10 for Lyon, so I feel like that is an easy enough one in terms of a player that you guys may know of from the past. But Gloucester at the moment, they haven't actually got Lewis Rees-Sammet there, which is a little bit of a hit for them, as he is definitely a player who has been scoring them a lot of tries in recent times and also has got plenty of pace, but they might be resting him or he might have a little injury at the moment. But now it is going to be a nice easy kick here for Racing 92. They've decided rather than going for the corner once again, they are just going to be taking on the 3, and it will be Maxime Michonneau will be kicking this one from literally straight out in front of the post. The only way he can miss this one is if he somehow breaks his ankle before striking the ball and then it just dribbles off the tee. I think that is the only way that he can miss this kick from here. Straight down the middle, and that is going to be going over. So now the score 38 points for Racing 92 and 14 in favour of them as well. Talking about money, Rock Nation's boss, Michael Yorkman wants to push USA dollars into South Africa Rugby in an effort to bring them in line with American football level. World champions must be strongest, he says as well, says Xbox. So it will be interesting to see how that goes, whether or not it does kind of take place, what countries are in the Champions Cup and Challenge Cups as well, says Hamish Spencer. So pretty much the competitions that these sides are from, that they are made up of, is the URC teams minus South Africa. And then you've also got the top 4 team and Gallagher Premiership are all of the leagues that they have got. So there are 24 teams all fighting for a spot in the top 16 for the kind of the Champions Cup. And then I believe it's around that round of 16 as well for the Challenge Cup is involved as well. Now it is going to be what countries are in the Champions Cup. And good morning, says Ollie as well. Welcome into the live stream. I hope you are doing well and hope you are excited for the amount of Champions Cup actions that we have got ourselves there. That one's gone into touch. And because of it, it will be the line out once again for Racing 92. So they've just had a lot of the ball in this first matchup, you could say. It will be so important that they do end up closing out this match well. 2 tries is what Northampton will need. Probably be a minimum, they would say, that is what they will require if they do want any chance of it being able to get themselves in a decent position. We have got there what countries. Or also, I guess I should actually say, for the URC, I didn't really be specific enough for Wales, Scotland, Ireland, and England are the countries there. And then you've also got France, and then also, you've got yourselves the kind of English side of it as well there. And also we have got are there any teams in the lower divisions of France and England? I believe they're pretty much all from the top 14 for the French sides that are involved in it, even in the Challenge Cup as well. They have just got them from kind of the top leagues. That looks like a player was knocked out, but he is fine. He was just playing possum so that he didn't get run over. Now, once again, it will be Wood charging his way forward. They're inside of the 22 at the moment here for the Northampton Saints. Frank Lamani decides to throw that one across field to Ribbons. Was once again going for close to the ball as he got it. He's close. The referee has said no. Now it will be Frank Lamani fires it back into the hands of the try scorer. Dingwall working hard to try and make himself a few extra meters. Frank Lamani recycles the ball quickly, trying to pierce the gap around the side, saying that he was caught just a little bit high there. Another big Fijian charging his way forward, 10 meters out straight in front of the post. This could be the second try of the half here for Northampton. No, they've dropped the ball twice, and that's going to be the knock-on advantage. They should include lower division as well, says Hamish Spencer. It would be quite cool if they did decide to go with a few of those lower sides. Definitely for like the championship, I guess you could say, for the Gallagher Premiership, like the next one down, and also the URC, or no, sorry, not URC, the next one down for the top 14, the top D2, I think it is called, or Pro D2, I think is the one there. But now just inside of the 22 once again here for the Saints, taking out the kneecaps once again. That's the thing, the French defence so far has been phenomenal. They just haven't really been leaking too many easy running meters for their side as well. Now it's going to be James Fish making his way for the replacement hooker there. Frank Lamani goes back. Dingwall, he's been impressive in this game so far. You would have to say he's one of the best backs who have been playing for Northampton. Alongside, you give Skosan a little bit of praise there as well. Now Lamani once again trying to get this ball out quickly. It's going to be knocked down by Finn Russell. Skosan now ball on the outside to Ludlam. And he steps nicely on the inside. Still driving forward there for him. And they are still 10 metres out, throwing themselves forward at the line. Good rush defence from Racing 92. But now it's gone through the hands of Wood. And now Curtly Bell is going to have to counter-attack. They're going to be using the back line here. And it is kicked downfield for them as well. Is it going into touch? One him off. Done nicely. That ball is going to be staying in the field of play, or is it? I think he might have been out there. And the Gallagher Premiership with a new, or will have a new team next year as well. Earling, Jersey Reds and Cornish Pirates battling for promotion as well. Which team is it? Is it the Cornish Pirates or is it Ealing, who always get right there but then end up losing the playoff game? Scott, do let me know, because I know that it's happened about 2 or 3 years in a row. I think someone was mentioning a little while ago to me. Pretty much they always get right there, and then like Saracens get promoted or something like that for last year's as an example. But hopefully they do get themselves up there. Ealing as well. Ealing? Hopefully I'm pronouncing that, or is it Earling? Earling? I feel like my pronunciation might be a little bit off there, but Juan him off at the moment. He has certainly been having a good game. He is not having an off game. Well, this one, is he going off the field here? Is he? No, he's not. I thought for a second they were taking him off. I was thinking, surely you can't take him off when he scored 2 tries and getting closer and closer to the hat-trick. Just having a bit of a drink at the moment. Bernard LaRue looks like he will be the one instead who will be making his way off. 62 minutes into this game. Anyone wondering about the scores in the other fixtures? It's an interesting situation. Lyon at the moment are sitting on a total of 16 points compared to the 6 of Gloucester, and then also Newcastle are still sitting nicely, and that is 28 points to Newcastle, 21 for Worcester. Racing 92 at the moment. I believe they have got themselves the line-out throw here because it was just a little bit of a mistake for the man on the halfway line, but I am going to say Racing 92. It seems like they should be able to score another try soon, and I will say who's out on the right wing. I'll go Tiri Toma is now due for his try. He hasn't had one yet, and I feel like he should be able to get one in a very short moment. But now at this stage, 55 metres out from the Northampton Saints line, we have got there. Whatever you do, Hamish, never say the name Peter Omani again, as well, says Maurice. I actually, as long as I do not read it, I end up saying it correctly, but it's anytime I say O'Mahony that I just don't like it too much at all. Gal Fiku there. Got an attacking run, goes straight through the gap. This is going to be Gal Fiku. Ball on the inside and nicely offloaded. Surely this is going to be the try for the number 6. It would be a hat-trick if he was able to get there as well. He has been playing absolutely phenomenally throughout this match as well. And this is, of course, the time that my coverage was like, you know what, we'll freeze a little bit. He was a metre short. He slides over. He gets his hat-trick as well for the French number 6. He's been doing absolutely incredibly in this match. It is another one, and it is Leray who has been able to get himself 3 tries, a hat-trick for a number 6, something you don't see every day. Racing 92 at the moment, they are on fire. Do they have relegation in the URC? They do not at this stage. I'm wondering whether or not they will look at something similar in the future, but at this stage, they have got the 16 teams, and you're kind of broken off into Irish teams, Welsh teams, Scottish and Italian teams, and then also it is down the bottom of South African teams, and they kind of all do them together like that. But it was a great run from Gal Fiku to be able to break the line, and then from there it is another few points on the board for Racing 92. Currently 64 minutes into this one. The kick has gone over, and now 45 points to 14. Like I mentioned, should be very exciting. My mouse was on the screen there. I accidentally did that, but now we have got it back out. They will as well, says Maurice there, but it was just a great run in the end for Leray. He just keeps on going straight through. Very impressive indeed, but at the moment, 64 minutes gone in this game, and Northampton, they just need to find a way of kind of squeezing themselves that bonus point. They need 2 tries in a short moment. They're not getting within 7, though. That is for sure. It's going to be taken nicely. Good hit there from Slade Oman. He has got the crowd behind him. Has he got the penalty? No, not quite. Kamnishet has made his way out onto the field as well. I believe it is going to be now Gomez trying to attack the line. Telfa Fanua on the field as well, and that is for Teddy Thoma. Kicked into touch from Finn Russell. And guess who won the last World Cup in France as well, says Spock. I feel like it would actually be a guess because I can't actually remember, to be honest. Gloucester has been able to get themselves a try. Was it South Africa? Spock? More than likely. Are there any Italian teams in these 2 competitions? I think Zebre are the only team that we have got. I don't know whether or not Benetton are in it. I think they have missed out. So it is definitely Zebre, and then I think that's actually the only team. More than likely, it's going to be taken nicely there by the Northampton Saints, just outside of the 22 at the moment, and it will be Freeman once again trying to charge forward. It's a penalty though for offside, and they will be trying to take this one quickly by the looks of it, charging forward. It was actually the number 17 there, Eddie Ben Arus, who did get penalised. It looks like they were thinking about the quick tap, thinking about the quick tap, but they decide against it in the end, offside just a little bit, and your 50 points are looking good as well, says Richard. They are indeed at the moment. Oh, what was my score prediction in the end? Did I say 40-something? I think my later one was 40-something to 17, but I think I might be a little bit off there, as I think it might be a little bit more for both of these sides. For Racing 92, I believe they will bring up the 50 for this fixture as well. He just ended up trying to turn over that ball, but it was also going to be that penalty. But Gloucester sitting on 13 as well. And also we have got there sometimes the Challenge Cup have a team from the T2 into the European nation. They currently don't have it. In the future, they are working on it as well, says Simon. So, yeah, hopefully they do find a way of kind of having more of these lower ranked things in, because that's when you kind of get to see the development of these smaller sides as well. That one has gone down in the rolling mill. They've got the advantage as well here for the Saints. Got attack and run now. It's going to be their cross kick. Out wide, taken by Scosson with the cross kick. Curtly Bell trying to mark it up. And now still 5 meters short. Racing 92, when they're right on their line, they just do not leak any points. That's something that they've got to keep on trying to do. It's going to be the big man there, Alex Waller, just throwing himself forward once again here. Very close. It's going back for the penalty now, and it looks like they might try and take this one quickly, do they? The ball is not coming out by the looks of it. And Mike Addington just sitting there watching it. Going to be straight out in front. They're going right back across field. He wants to take the quick tap. He's not going to be on the mark, though. So he does have to wait for Addington to find it. Still backtracking here. He's going right back across. I believe it was Galfiku who did get penalised for that one there. And has Bill done anything as well? He started the match extremely well. He actually ended up getting in the situation of, I believe he had about 3 very good runs right at the start. And then other than that, he has kind of been a little bit invisible for them. Has made a few important tackles throughout the way as well. But the T2 nations in Europe have competition called the Rugby Europe Cup as well, says Simon Hughes. I haven't actually seen too many of those ones due to the fact that in New Zealand, they decide that they don't want to show the kind of lower ranked games, like even the Pro D2 for the French League. We don't get to see that here in New Zealand, which does suck because there are a lot of games that do take place, which I would absolutely love to see. It's going to be a loose ball, and Ludlam has been able to get on that one. It's going to be surely the ball here for the Racing 92 side, and it was indeed. We have got there will be another team promoted to the Gallagher Premiership, but they have to meet criteria in suitable stadium and competitive performance as well, says Simon Hughes there. And also we have got the winners of the Rugby World Cup, or Rugby Club World Cup coming in, says Richard. I believe they were trying to say it would kind of be every 2 years opposite the Rugby World Cup, which would kind of mean, I would assume if they're going to do it like that, the first one would actually be, when would the first one be? It would actually be sitting at around that 2025 or somewhere around there, I guess, if that was the case. But now making his way onto the field, Alex Coles will be replacing, and at the end, David Ribbons, who has had a decent performance so far in this one. Northampton Saints, like I mentioned, they still need to find themselves 2 more tries to get just the bonus point out of this game at the moment. The other 2 games taking place for the Challenge Cup extremely close, with Newcastle sitting on 28 off 21, 28 against 21 of Worcester, and then also 16-13 the score with Leon just having a little bit of a lead there. And he's taken nicely by Racing 92. Finn Russell now passing it back across. Gale Fiku once again with just a strong carry in the midfield. Has been doing it all day for Racing 92. Has been looking solid while doing as well. Varumi Fakatava, he's hardly had to be used in that back line, which tells you how well Gale Fiku and also the men on the outside have been doing it. It's going to be a nice step there from, I believe it was Chasano. Not quite able to get on it though for the Saints. Fire back. Finn Russell once again with the skip pass for Varumi Fakatava. Low pass. Curtly Bill, good hands to be able to get on that, but a lot of pressure in Northampton Saints. Do get that one as well. Go 92. Sees the S-Box there in the chat. Yeah, it's going to be very interesting to see how it does go for the last 10 minutes of this game. It seems like Northampton, they're still relatively fresh, but unfortunately for them, they have just been outplayed in this game by Racing 92. They have been more clinical when they have had the opportunities. Like, you've got a good side going when Leray, a man who is in the number 6, does get himself a hat-trick in this one as well. But now they will just be trying to make sure that they don't give away the extra bonus point, because that could mean that Northampton Saints might be able to make their way through to the next stage. They've got another advantage here for the Saints. Franklin Marnie going to be passing this ball back now. Dan Bigger, he actually went off the field a lot earlier on in the game with a knee injury, which does seem to be a little bit more of a common occurrence as of late. It's going to be a big push through the middle there, and another advantage on the side of the Saints. Big tackle there on the man who's only just made his way out onto the field in the number 19 jersey. Once again, going back across field wide, cut out past there to Ludlam down the wing, coming back nicely. Good run forward for Ludlam, just bursting through. Scores the try as well. He was fired up in a bulldozer, just running straight over the top of everyone, and that's going to be the third try now for Northampton. Oh, there's a fight broken out, and I think it was because of a little bit of I guess it was actually a little bit of a shepherd or a little bit of obstruction, I think is the call there, and they are going to be going upstairs to check this one. He is saying obstruction there, the captain. Or, sorry, the Te Whawharumi Whakatawa is not a man who you want to try and start a fight with if you want to keep your consciousness. But now, still a little bit of push and shove. It's still going between these two sides here. Everyone is fired up at the moment. They will be going upstairs to see whether or not this try will stand of Ludlam, I believe, and also corrected. Well, South Africa as well. CC's block there. Anyone knows racing's odd to win the European Championship outright this year as well, says Maurice. I will have a quick look. Although I believe because the match has actually started now for the first round, I think the kind of betting has been closed for them to be able to win. I will just have a quick look to see if we've got the outright winners, show more competitions. Unfortunately, we can't actually see what the odds are anymore for them due to the fact that it has just finished, but they are just seeing whether or not there was a little bit. It wasn't even close there. I don't believe so. I think this is going to stand. And also we have got the FYI as well into the chat as well. Says JD Henry, welcome into the live stream. Hope you are doing well for this one. But Ludlam at the moment, he was driving forward very nicely. Was able to get over the line. I think he was nowhere near him here. Yeah, slight home. Okay, like they're saying, maybe he will end up getting a penalty against him for simulation here for him. But Ludlam, this strike should stand, if I am correct, which could be wrong, of course. Often am. But at this stage, I believe he does end up really trying to milk that penalty there. So I believe that it is going to be. Okay. Okay. So I've just listened, and it is going to be no try here. So it is going to be reversed there, and Ludlam does not score the try. They have still got the penalty advantage, though, so it does mean that they have still got a chance of being able to score this one as well. I think this is the first time I'm in your stream because I haven't got access to the game as well, says Amy Spencer. So I guess welcome in, mate. I hope you are enjoying the coverage so far. Yeah, they aren't actually showing the Champions Cup in Australia, are they? For a lot of the coverage at the moment. Leon sitting 16 points to 13 over Gloucester, and Newcastle winning their game up against Worcester 28-21. Well, that one as well. But the reason behind that one being a no try, they have explained, is the fact that because he was in front of the man who was running forward straight away, that kind of becomes an obstruction a little bit worse than it would have been. So at the moment, Mike Addison just telling the French side discipline is the one word that he did use. He wants to make sure that they don't give away too many more penalties. That's going to be almost stolen, but it's bouncing back nicely here for the Northampton Saints. They have still got this ball available. They will certainly want themselves another try. It's going to be a little bit of a fight breaking out, is it? Between Ludlam, not quite. Shamil Chat was having a little bit of a chat with him as well while it was taking place, but now still available here for the Saints. Trying to pierce that gap. It hasn't really been opening up for them, and it was the replacement there, Rory Hutchinson. Frank Lamani once again going short side. That's going to be dropped, but they're going back for a little knock on that was from Racing 92. Happy to show Prem, but can't show the other European comps as well, says Hamish. Yeah, it does seem weird. Hopefully they do end up, because I know that Sky actually, here in New Zealand, they didn't actually say that they were showing the games on my app that normally tells me if it's on Sky or not. But luckily, I did have a look at the guide, and I did see that they were going to be on here, because or else I would have unfortunately not been able to watch them. I know that the Challenge Cup is not on Sky, which is why I have got my app that's letting me know exactly what the scores are as well. And that is such a bad decision by the officials. And also we have got there, Mashino clearly runs well away from Ludlam and into the supporting player as well, says Kana Koinen. Yeah, it wasn't a good one at all, because like they were saying, he could have almost gotten penalised against himself there, the Frenchman. The Frenchman, that sounded very strange, but I couldn't remember what his first name was. It is Machino, who did end up going back across. But I think they said because he was in front or something along those lines for Slate-Home, that is why it got reversed. But I feel like it still should have been able to stand as well. All it takes for contact to be made, and it's a penalty ridiculous as well. So it's going to go in the Rugby Europe Super Cup is actually available on their website. You do have to register, but it's free, and you can watch them on demand as well. Says Simon Hughes. I'm actually going to star your comment there so that I can go back to it later on, and I will sign up so that I can watch a few of those games. Is it going on at the moment, Simon? Do let me know, because if it is, I'm always up for more rugby, that is for sure. We've got plenty happening at the moment with the URC Gallagher Premiership top 14. They're all taking a little bit of a break, which does mean we have got just the Champions Cup action for now, and also in 50 days' time, the Six Nations, and also it will be the MLR will be starting back up. And now currently 7 minutes left in this game. It is the scrum feed for Northampton just inside of the 22. It's another penalty in favour of them going down, and that is many penalties against Racing 92 at the moment. I think the thing that is saving them is the fact that they've all come at different times and for kind of different, infringements, which has saved them from losing them. And Racing have Ospreys in the home game next week as well, and then Northampton home and Ospreys away. So they will likely be in the quarterfinal in the semis at least as well, says Maurice. Yeah, they should be able to do it, definitely with the start that they've had here. Getting a bonus point this early on pretty much sets you up to be able to make it through to the round of 16. But now at this stage, it's probably more of the question of can Northampton make their way through to that round of 16 as well. It's going to be a big drive forward there for the Saints. They are only sitting a few meters out. And once again, it will be Racing 92 trying to shut it down. Still going to be available for Frank Lamani here. Well, at this stage, they have got about 10 men on the outside if they can use them. Going to be a nice bit of draw and pass. Oh, the ball's been dropped there for the Saints. And Freeman just puts that one down, and it was a knock on. That is something that they could not afford there. It looks like he's got an injury there. And it looks like it might be the shoulder that he has done there, Freeman. So that is not too good for him as well. He has already got the strapping on the right knee. It looks like the right shoulder might need a little bit of strapping as well here. Was the draw and pass from Furbank. Then from there, he dropped the ball. I think he actually collapsed onto his own shoulder there, which is not ideal. He tried to get on that ball. I think he ended up kind of twisting his arm. But the Northampton Saints at the moment, it looks like there's a few people already leaving the ground. They've decided to try and beat the traffic and at the early stages as well. But still 5 minutes left in this game. The other two games, they both had a stalemate. We haven't had any points in a little while for them, but we just got a little bit of a stoppage here while it is Tommy Freeman who is getting a little bit of patching up. Don't you hate when you get a hair in your mouth? That is for sure. But anyone who hasn't already, be sure to leave a like and subscribe to the channel. We are currently sitting on a total of 16 likes on this live stream, so I do appreciate all the support you guys have been showing to these live streams as well. We have also got the Racing, have Ospreys at home next week. Oh, sorry, I read that one. Northampton will find it difficult to beat Ulster away next week in Belfast, and then they will have to concentrate on the Golden Point as well. Says it was there from Maurice. So yeah, they've certainly got to try and find a way of getting themselves some points in the next little while. Leon actually moving up onto 19 points now. They've been able to kick the penalty, which does give them a 6-point lead over Gloucester. So it's going to be a close finish in that game by the looks of it. So it is going to be exciting to see whether or not Gloucester can hold on in that fixture. And perhaps they can even get themselves a comeback win. All they need is a try. And that would be exactly what they would need with the conversion to be able to win that game up against Lyon. And they should not be winning that game. They were about $10 underdogs. So they should certainly be losing by more than 6 points, or Worcester have just scored a try. They move up onto 26 points. And when does the Super Cup start as well, says Amy Spencer? That is a very good question. Hopefully, Simon will be able to help us out there. But Chudley was the man who was able to score the try for Worcester in the 65th minute. So we're getting closer and closer to the end of that game as well. But 5 minutes left in this one. It's running ahead of time in terms of compared to those other games that did start at the same time. But Lorraine, there is no question but that man getting man of the match. 9 carries, 96 meters made, 7 defenders beaten, and 3 tries. He got himself the hat trick, the man in the number 6 jersey, and certainly has had that man of the match performance. Also, honourable mention, Juan Amoff, able to get himself 2 tries for Racing 92 as well. But they're going to have the scrum feed about 15 minutes out from their own line. It is actually the replace. That does not look good for Tommy Freeman. Looks like he has unfortunately done something bad to his shoulder or his wrist, and he is possibly going to be out for maybe the rest of the Champions Cup. But it is going to be Antoine Gilbert, who is now on the field, replacing a lot of halfbacks have the name Antoine, don't they? Is that quite a popular name in France? Because I have only seen halfbacks with that name as well. Of course, Antoine Dupont winning himself the player of the year. That's going to be now the front row going up at Gilbert, replacing Machino as well. Very happy with that push there. Was Kadate, and it was Gomez Sa who was able to do decently with that big push in the scrum at the moment. Worcester, I believe it was a misconversion there in that one up against Newcastle. So Fletcher Smith, or actually it was just F. Smith. I'm not too sure whether his first name is Fletcher, but he did miss the kick. And it does now mean that the score is still remaining 26 for Worcester and 28 for the Newcastle Falcons. Gloucester getting closer and closer to being able to beat Leon if they can get themselves a converted try, like I mentioned. But that game, I believe they are still only sitting around 65 minutes or 70 minutes into that one, I should say. So it is going to be a relatively close finish in both of those games of the Challenge Cup. This game, not so close because the Racing 92 at the moment sitting 45 for themselves and then 14 for Northampton. They had themselves the third try. These two games are incredibly close. I hope they can hold on as well, says Aiden. So you do need Newcastle and you also need Leon, don't you, for you to be able to win. How much was your return for it as well? Camille Shat now going to be throwing that one in, and it is nicely done, going straight to the man Luray, who has been able to score himself many tries so far. It's going to be the cross kick. Juan him off, trying to line it up, takes that beautifully as well. Beautiful offload on the outside. Curly Bill, though, has put the ball down, and because of it, now it is going to be the knock on by Racing 92. And instead, it does mean now that they have got the offshot of the scrum, and it was a great cross kick from Finn Russell. Picture perfect. And then from there, Racing 92's fullback, Curly Beale, just couldn't quite juggle that one, so it would stay in the hands for him. It was a beautiful offload, though, from Juan Moff, and a 548 return as well, says Aiden. I feel like if you win this one, you should really at least cash out most of it, like in terms of before putting on another bet, because you did say you were going to put it all on the Perth Scorchers, and I feel like you're better off like cashing out, like, I guess 400 of that and then just putting 148 on the Scorchers if you do want to put it on a big bet, because it's not really worth that big risk, because Frank Lamani now, he is going to have to go back. He wasn't quite on the mark. They're going to be kicking this one for touch by the looks of it, or just Frank Lamani take it quickly. No, it is now going to be the fullback, George Furbank, who does kick that one into touch. I keep on yawning, I've noticed as well. I guess that's what happens when you stay up all night waiting for the rugby to start. But we will be going to bed during the day, and then we will be back for 2 matches of the BBL tonight. So if you guys are new to the channel, be sure to hit that subscribe button. It's hugely appreciated and helps support us out. But now going to be a good run forward there for, once again, it was Rory Hutchinson. So they need to try now, and then they need another one, and then they will get themselves the bonus point here, Northampton Saints. But it is certainly easier said than done. That's offside there against Gloucester. Surely no, they haven't actually said it was, but they were about a metre or two in front. And also, do you ever sleep, dude, says Maurice? I do indeed. It is just at random hours. Frank Lamani trying to pierce the gap nicely, still working his way forward. But yeah, pretty much my sleep schedule at the moment does kind of consist of me going to sleep at a random hour of the morning, like maybe 9 a.m. to 11 a.m., somewhere around there, and then waking up at around 8 and then getting ready for my KSC Big Bash live streams that we do for the cricket. And then we will also have the Champions Cup all through the night for the matches tomorrow night as well, alongside 2 BBL matches, like I mentioned. So we're going to have about, I think, 14 or 15 hours of live streams in Hamish Spencer. Yeah, the European Rugby Super Cup has its in the third round as well. I think he's one more round, and then the playoffs. So in the next year as well, I'll bet you all my money you'll reach 100 yawns before the end of tomorrow morning. What are the odds you are giving me, Hamish, as well? Says, and I feel like that's probably paying like $1.01 at the moment, the way that it's going. And also, dang it, I'm so late, says Kenny Dixon. Welcome in. We've got 2 minutes left of this matchup between the two sides. Also, the other 2 games that are taking place, Newcastle winning up against Worcester 28 points to 26, and Leon winning up against Gloucester 19 points to 13. So very close in that regard. And also, we've got the I got it, and we can watch the international games on it as well, says Hamish Spencer there in the chat. And now it is going to be the scrum feed for Racing 92. They'd love to bring up the 50 here. If they were able to do so, it would be very impressive in their first match of the Champions Cup. They've already got the bonus point now. It is going to be 5 back once again here, trying to use the backline quick hands from Varumi Fakatawa. Now going to be taken nicely by Juan M off. Look, good pressure there from the Northampton Saints, trying to get that ball back if they've been able to do so. No, not quite. Wait, I thought this was a cricket channel as well, says Isaac there in the chat. Welcome in, mate. Hope you are doing well for today. We are a little bit of both at the moment. It's also going to be a Dead by Daylight channel in a short moment. Anyone who does know about that game, we are going to be playing it on the Kiwi Lads channel very, very soon indeed. And also the whole game without a mod, my bad, Hamish, as well, says Katie Dixon. No worries, we haven't actually had any spammers at all, which has been completely all right in that regard. And also, we've got the high seas more cake as well. Welcome into the live stream, mate. Hope you are doing well. Racing 92 straight on the ball. Wins the penalty for their side in 30 minutes left in this one. Hey, Katie, you missed 78 minutes, unfortunately, as well. There's 8 in there. Hello, hey, brother, how you do? Says Katie to Isaac, but it was Juan and Moff who was able to get straight over the ball and win his side that penalty. 45 points they are sitting on at the moment. Do they just take the 3 and in this game? We have got there, yeah, I missed all the minutes as well. Says it, Katie Dixon there. But yeah, pretty much we have got plenty more Champions Cup and looking at the beach from a hotel room as well. Says more cakes. So I assume you have arrived on the Sunshine Coast. So yeah, hopefully you are doing well. But at the moment, Kirtley Bill having a chat with one him off. And they look like they are pretty tired at this point. They are going to be taking on the 3 more than likely. And then that will be the end of the game. 3-foot waves here as well. Great stream as always. We'll be back for a game or 3 over the weekend, fellas and ladies as well, says Marisa. We will see you later on, mate. But thank you very much for tuning in. It is hugely appreciated for you guys being here. This is the first of many Champions Cup live streams, like I mentioned. And yes, says more cake there as well. So it is great that you did arrive safely. That one, he has been able to strike it down the middle. That is the end of the game between these two sides. And it is going to... Wait a minute. That ball didn't go over. That ball, okay, this game is not over yet, ladies and gentlemen. It is still going to be in the hands of the Northampton Saints. They currently have a massive points differential, and Augustus going to be driving his way forward. I swear that one went over, but I think it just dropped short. Now, Frank Lamani, he is going to grab this ball, and do they kick this one into touch? It looks like Northampton Saints want to keep on running it out. I think it's too risky, though. When you're only a couple meters out from your line, you do not want to end up in that position of losing an extra 7 points on your points differential. And also we have got there, what do you want? What's up? WhatsApp number, Hamish, as well. It's a little bit of a mistake there. So that is going to be the end of the game now. And it will end at 45 points to the 14 for the new, not the Northampton Saints. It was 45 points to 14 in favour of Racing 92. We have got there played Uno with friends till 11:30 p.m. last night as well. Says Mockcake there. So that would have been a lot of fun for you. But pretty much, yeah, the WhatsApp seems to be a T20 thing at the moment, I have noticed. But at the moment, Newcastle are sitting 26 points to 28. So they are just ahead, but I'm not too sure what the clock is saying for that game. But we have got Yip as well, says Mockcake there in the chat as well. And also we have got their gamers gone a game as well with the 10 out of 10 out of 10. And Hamish, do you think Newcastle will hold on, though? It's a tough one to say because pretty much on my app, all I get to see is the tries. I see that they got a yellow card earlier on, but the last thing it's telling me is there was a misconversion for Worcester, so I don't know how far through the game they are, but if they win about 5 minutes extra time, they have probably still got another 5 minutes or so here before the end of their match. So I'm fingers crossed for you, mate, and hopefully they will be able to get the win. But do take my advice in terms of the factor of be sure to cash out at like that decent amount. But they are sitting on 87 minutes through the game. It is saying at the moment for that matchup. I feel like that's not quite correct, though. I feel like 87 minutes through the game probably doesn't quite make sense, but that is certainly a clock that has gotten utterly confused at the moment. We will go like this, and we will actually go like this as well. Just for one moment, we will go like this. You can see there that my green screen is not quite long enough for it to be able to cover both of my sides, and we will go window, and we will go like this as well. So that Aiden, we will save it so that you can see it right at the end to see whether or not you will be able to get yourself paid for that one as well. We will go like this, and we will go like this. There we go. That is the live kind of score for the flash score of that one between the Newcastle Falcons and Worcester. But anyone wondering about this game, Juan Amoff able to get himself 2 tries, Lorray able to get 3 as well for that one. Got hail yesterday, and a guy was surfing as well. Says it more cake there. Yeah, the final moments of this game, more than likely, looks like it's going to be going for plenty of time, that is for sure. Hopefully they will be able to get the win there for Newcastle. But yeah, pretty much a comfortable win there for Racing 92, winning 45 points to 14. Dan Bigger is a big injury concern there for the Northampton Saints. And he did end up maybe doing something to his knee. Varumi Fakatawa at the moment, just asking the question of how the knee's feeling for Dan Bigger. But he's having a chat with Finn Russell, the 2 fly halves, and Hamish, the ref, doesn't know when to play the whistle as well. Says Aiden there. Tell you what, if it is correct in terms of the fact that it's up to 88 now, that's the occasion as well. Says Katie Dixon there in the chat. But yeah, if it ends up, like, that's the thing, it's going to tick over to 90. It's going to be like a football game between those two sides for the Falcons and Worcester. But that's the thing with the Gallagher Premiership. Every game goes right down to the wire. Unlike this one with Racing 92, able to win at 45 points to 14, like I mentioned. But there were Lorray, 3 tries for him. They were able to get the bonus point as well. So they will move up in the table of the Champions Cup, and they will be sitting very nicely for the early stages. Same with Leon, who were able to get themselves the win in their game up against the opposition. And I'm trying to remember who it was. It was Gloucester, who they did end up losing to. But now at this stage, Racing 92, they have a points differential of plus 31 and also received the full 5 points. 88 minutes, well, that's the longest game of rugby ever played as well. Tell you what, that is a good sign for you there, mate. 88 minutes as well, says Hamish Spencer. But we see there that it has ticked over to 31, which does now mean that they were able to kick the 3 points. So surely that is game over now for that match. If that one has gone over, oh, now it's gone back to 79. Someone had the clock wrong. And now they are going to be leading by 5 points now going into the final minute of that game between the two sides. Anyone who is new to the channel, be sure to hit that subscribe button. We are covering a few games that are taking place tomorrow, but pretty much whoever did the timer on that just took 10 minutes off the clock. And now it is sitting on 79, which does mean there's still just a little bit more time left for Worcester to be able to get, surely the whistle's gone as well. Although if it's gone right back to 79, that still probably means they've got a minute or two left as well. What that we went back in time as well, and Flash Score Floss as well. Another chat says Amos Spencer. This one is looking very close indeed. It looks like here it is going to be Fleury who will be returning, or who will be receiving the Man of the Match award for this matchup, where he was able to get himself the hat trick. That was absolutely phenomenal from the big man. And Racing 92's Curtly Bell is also going to be out there awarding him with that one as well. But this game between Newcastle and also Worcester, I can't actually see any information on it in terms of what is happening in the game, other than the factor that it is going right down to the wire for the final few moments. But hopefully we'll go in there. Flash Score, I've been putting a bit too much Drano in their fruit fudge as well. It was there from Katie Dixon. I'm quickly going to look and see who all the try scorers were for that game as well. Anyone who does want to know, Skosan and Dingwall were the two try scorers for the Northampton Saints. And then also Lorray able to get 3, and Olmoff able to get himself the 2 tries as well for that one. But the Challenge Cup at the moment is certainly going to be going long at the moment. We have got the situation of the quite a few tries actually in that matchup. But with the first try for Wright for the Newcastle Falcons, then it was Mike Brown who was able to score it. McGigan was able to get one for himself, and then Lindsay Haig was able to get one as well. Then for the Worcester side, they were able to get Duan van der Merwe a penalty try as well there, and then Dole and Chudley were the other try scorers for them in that fixture as well. But we're up to 80 minutes in that one. Hodgson was able to get one in the 76th minute. It actually says that he did get that penalty. So we've still got a couple more minutes. Aiden at the moment will be sitting on the edge of his seat. I don't actually have any way of watching this game other than looking at the score and showing you guys what it is. But I will wait a few more minutes before we end this live stream, just so that you guys do know exactly who was able to win that other matchup that has taken place. But some stats for this game for anyone who is wondering: 45 points to 14 was the end score. Possession still in favour of Northampton, having 57% of the possession. And that second one who ended up scoring the tries for Leon as well. I believe one moment it was Taufua was able to get himself one. And then also, actually, that's the only try that they got. And then it was Jordan for Gloucester who was able to score the try at the end. So just the one. And it was for Taufua. He actually scored the lone try in the last week's match as well. I believe come on Worcester as well. And they're from Amos Spencer there in the chat. But yeah, at the moment they are still going. And at that matchup, they are both not given up by the list. I'm not too sure what the exact time is in that game, but pretty much it is well and truly running along to see who is going to be winning that one. But yeah, anyone who was new to the channel, be sure to hit that subscribe button, because we are going to be covering more Champions Cup action tomorrow. 5 tries for Racing 92. So they do receive that bonus point, having 561 running meters compared to 453, which is actually pretty decent because it was double at halftime in favor of the Racing 92 side. 25 defenders beaten compared to the 16 defenders beaten. Clean breaks 9 to 1. And then also it was 7 offloads for Northampton and 9 in the end for Racing 92. Fleury able to get himself 3 tries. Also Imhoff able to get 2 for himself there. And then Dingwall, and also it was Courtnell Skosan who was able to pick up the other try for them. Tackles made, 116 made by Racing 92, only missing 16 throughout the whole fixture, and 102 tackles made with missing 25 for the Northampton Saints. Are just a little bit too many for them in that situation. But now this game must be getting very close to the end. Are we there yet? Still not there. Well, that one, it seems like it's going to just tease us as well. We have got there 4K Harlem in the chat. Welcome into the live stream, mate. I hope you are doing well, my man, as well. I hope you will be tuning in tomorrow, where we have got more Champions Cup action. There should be some very exciting games coming up. And yeah, if you are new to the channel, anyone who is watching, be sure to hit that subscribe button. At the moment, we are just waiting for this game to end. Doesn't seem like it's ever going to. At the moment, it is extremely close between the two sides. Worcester, if they score a try and convert, they will win. If they score a try and don't convert, it will be a draw. Or if Newcastle Falcons can hold on, they will be able to win that game. But surely we are getting close to the 80 for that one as well. But we have got plenty of live streams coming tomorrow as well for anyone who is curious. We have got ourselves quite a few. We are going to be doing the Leinster versus Bath game, also Clermont versus Ulster, and then Exeter taking on Montpellier as well as the other fixture that we will be covering on the channel. Then the day after, we have got ourselves Ospreys taking on Sale Sharks, Wasps versus Munster, and then Castres taking on the Harlequins will be the one that will be closing out that day of a rugby action. And we have also got there the BBL will be coming back as well. And also thank you for the stream, Amish as well. Says Katie Dixon, no worries. Thank you very much for tuning in. Leinster as well with the blue there. And Lowell, what's the chances of a draw and 90 minutes of play as well? Says Aiden, tell you what, at the moment, it's looking like it's relatively high. There hasn't really been too many handling errors between the two sides, sitting 84 minutes through. I know that clock is still just a little bit wrong. And there again, also we have got there a great stream, Amish, Saints Dreadful and Racing 92 looking the real deal. And so, yeah, it's going to be exciting seeing who they come up against in the quarterfinals, or sorry, the round of 16, which we will be sitting at in only around 3 months' time. That game is finished now, and the Falcons have been able to get the win, 31 points to 26, I should say. Don't spend all the money at once. Please, Aiden, be sure to cash out something. And also, hey, Amish, how you doing today as well? Says Carlos, I'm doing very well, mate, but we are at the end of this live stream. We'll be back for 2 more BBL live streams later on tonight. The first of which, Sydney Six is taking on the Hobart Hurricanes. The second game is going to be an exciting one, and it is going to be the game taking place between the Perth Scorchers and the Adelaide Strikers. But thank you all very much for tuning in. If you did enjoy this live stream, be sure to leave a like and subscribe to the channel, and I will see you all a little bit later on today with some more BBL and also with some more rugby action. But thank you all very much for tuning in, and I will see you all